Okay, we should be live, but I'm just gonna wait to see people react in the chat. If we can see us, hello, hi, say hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, press in the chat, say hello. Yeah, yeah, okay. Jen says she can hear us. Awesome,
All
awesome.
right.
Okay, so today we have the art of divination, something a lot of our students have been working towards. It was a long project, the tarot cards, and everybody did superb. Everybody did great.
Yeah.
And then after this, we're gonna be going into the Halloween costume event that we had some submissions. So you'll see the fashion aspect of the Halloween costume from our students also. So everybody hang tight. At the end of the event, we have a little trick or treat. You won't know until the
Wow.
end. A little small treat or trick. We'll see. But yeah, without too much dilly dallying, I'll introduce fast who's with me today. We have our coach Marion with us. Marion, say hi so they can see you.
Hello. Hi there. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, she's dressed up super nicely. She's sporting that cowboy hat. She's like a real Barbie. Look at that, the little pumpkin lights behind her. Beautiful. Next up, we have our other coach, Catherine. Everybody say
Hello.
hi.
Hi.
And just to plug a bit, she has a beautiful online workshop coming up with New Masters Academy. If anybody's interested in painting flowers, but you know,
Yeah,
get
flower
ready because
power.
there will be a lot of flower power.
Flower power.
Yeah, I believe it's on the
That sounds like that's
November,
left business.
second to 5th November, I
These
believe.
colors don't run.
And everybody can already hear the third member of our company, Joshua. He also has a workshop coming in Santa
Yes.
Fe,
Santa
but that
Fe.
one ain't online. That one is in person, and you can
Yes.
still enroll for it. Like the enrollment is still open.
I think there's 3 spots left. Yeah.
3 spots.
Three
Better
spots. Yeah.
fight it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Deathmatch. Hello.
All right, and your host, me, Wiggly. Everybody probably knows me already from Discord. If you don't, I'm just a student. Hello.
Just a student. Come
Just a
on.
just a
I,
just a line wiggling in the wind.
just a line wiggling in the wind, exactly.
A pillar of the community. A very wiggly
A, wi-
pillar of the community.
a wiggly pillar
An
of
un-
this
is
flexible
that an
dynamic community.
is that supposed to be an unstable comment?
I think that's a compliment. Absolutely. You got to flex to be strong, right?
Yeah. I gotta wiggle.
Yeah, I got to wiggle.
Uh, it should be a dance move at this point. Do
I
the
mean,
Oh,
wiggle.
yeah.
curved lines. I'm a fan of curved lines. So
Oh, we love curves. We're all about
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
drawing with two wiggly lines is the way to
yeah.
go. You don't want to have too many straight lines. Okay. Uh, with those introductions out of the way, I think everybody's ready to
Let's do it.
jump right into it. And let's go. We have a lot
Woo!
of submissions, so
Yeah.
grab
So
water,
excited.
sit tight, and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna be starting with artistic divinations. Is that how you pronounce it?
Mhm.
Divinations.
This is the perfect time to find out.
And we're gonna be starting with the major arcana cards. So first up
Ooh.
is the full artwork made by our student Lee.
Should
Oh,
we give a
wow.
little intro onto what tarot is in case somebody doesn't
Sure.
isn't familiar with it? I'm actually not the best person to give that intro, but a little bit about what are tarot cards if you don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
think
reckon
Catherine.
Catherine is our best
Yeah.
person. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
Catherine
Catherine's
is
our
our,
resident divinator.
she's our, expert. I'm definitely not an expert, but I love tarot. And tarot cards, I think you can think of it like a little book of secrets that each card is whispering little secrets, little charms about how to move through the world and achieve enlightenment, really. And there's a lot of stuff in the cards about breaking down barriers that we perceive between, between perceived opposites and between what we perceive as illusions that can like fool you into thinking that certain things are important when really maybe there's a greater truth that's the ultimate goal. And when you look through the cards in order, it becomes a sort of a journey towards an ultimate truth. And it all starts with the Fool, which is one of my favorite cards. And you can think of the Fool as both the beginning of the journey and the end.
It's apropos. It's apropos for artists.
It's very apropos for artists. Oh my God, it's apropos for everybody. Yeah. I'm gonna have a hard time not just like nerding out over every single one of these because
nerd. I think that ship has sailed.
Oh yeah, for sure. Have you seen how I'm dressed? This is just what I would wear normally.
Jenny! Yeah.
Anyway, the Fool here, he's about to walk off of a cliff. He's just sort of like happily going on a little jaunt, but if he goes any further, he's just gonna like fall into oblivion. But at the same time, it's this like total innocence that contains the ultimate wisdom that we're all seeking. And his possessions that he's holding with his little stick with a little sack on the end of it, that stick is really a wand, which is what you use to create magic, right? So anyway, the Fool.
That's some kind of scimitar in this interpretation, sort of a Chinese mythological interpretation, right?
Yeah, I didn't even notice that, but I just love this one. I think it's so beautiful. I mean, the colors, spectacular, the design, the shapes, it's just really, really lovely.
Yeah,
great work, Lee.
Beautiful.
Really, they've really done an amazing job of that one. Oh, this is
great job, Lee.
Wow.
We can't do justice to all of these because of the time, unfortunately. So I'm sure we could talk 30 minutes about each one. So apologies in advance. We're gonna have to move because we have so many.
There's so many submissions. Yes.
Wow.
So this is another rendition for the Fool card by the student David.
Wow.
Ooh.
This is interesting. It's almost a leap, like a ballet leap into the off the cliff.
But she looks so happy, just leaping into possibility without any fear.
Yeah, she's got slight Nightmare Before Christmas vibes, though. I'm not sure if there's an undertone here.
I don't think that's a bad thing. I love that.
She's got Sally vibes.
The season. We are in the season.
That is true.
Beautiful work. I love the choice of colors, the yellow.
Yeah.
I think it's very beautiful.
And a bit with the dog.
And the dog.
Yeah.
And a bit with the dog.
The dog with the purse.
Yeah.
The dog looks so concerned. He's like, wait a minute. What are we doing?
He's probably like, she does this all the time.
Yeah.
She's just
it sort of adds a bit of sort of safety and security, though, doesn't it? It's that kind of like fidelity that the dog provides, that kind of loyal servant that we've got here.
Loyal companion.
Absolutely.
And also great job on the graphic design. I don't know who did this, but this looks great. Also, I'm saying the whole presentation in addition to the beautiful work.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Who did that?
I don't know.
Great job.
Good
job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love the dynamic movement. This seems like maybe a student who's interested in animation or maybe going into storyboarding, something like that. There's a lot of narrative, a lot of flow. I really like how it's handled. Really simple too.
Yeah,
great work, David.
You can feel the movement.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We have the Empress by the student Alex.
Oh, that's nice.
Very.
And I love the Empress card. It's all about being grounded in nature, grounded in the earth, grounded in the body. And you can see that here, I think, with the snake, a very grounded kind of animal.
Very grounded.
Also, yes, I think she's holding, I don't know what she's holding, but I thought the first time I looked at it, it almost looked like a walnut, which I thought was interesting because it looks like a brain, right?
Yeah, the walnut in the brain, very similar kind of shape, huh? Interesting.
Yeah.
It looks like there's people on the right side of it. The little black dots.
I think
they look like people shape. I'm just saying.
Maybe. Interesting. Yeah, this would be. I'd love to see this one in color. So if you ran out of time, Alex, this would be a really cool one to like spend more time even after the event, I think, and really finish it off. It looks fantastic.
Yeah. I
It has
agree.
like Gustav Klimt sort of
Ooh, yeah.
or Mucha vibes a little bit too, which are always a good choice.
Yeah, all those curves, which is really, I
Yeah.
think, important for the Empress card too. That's
Yeah.
kind of like feminine energy
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
think, goes back to that sort of that curving line, a wiggly line, maybe.
A wiggly line, if you will.
Yeah.
Hey, great job, Alex.
Represent.
Beautiful.
Good job, Alex. Yeah.
Yes, great work, Alex.
All right. Then we have The Emperor
Whoa.
by Hannah S.
Wow.
Beautiful. I love
Very
it.
cool.
This
Nice
one's
colors.
amazing, isn't it? Really
And
nice.
Hannah did so much research too
Wow.
into the
Yeah.
card and really thought about what the card meant and how to represent it. And I loved that so much because I think this really embodies the Emperor card being this sort of stoic, very powerful, somewhat remote figure, very orderly. And you totally get the feeling from this card and all of the symbols and color choices that Hannah made. It absolutely goes perfectly with the meaning of the card, I felt. So a great interpretation.
Then
And
again,
it's got some logos that they've got in there from NMA on the.
oh, nice touch. Always a good touch.
Yeah.
Never, that's never too much.
Yeah,
I love
and
it.
I like the kind of asymmetry that they've got here in it as well. That nice feel of the two sort of spheres, but in different locations. It looks really nice. You can see your eye around the card really well.
Yeah, and it's hard to do a goat head on or any sort of like animal with a long snout. I think you pretty much nailed it. Great job, Hannah.
It reads very well, even informed.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a fantasy world almost that I want to like learn more about seeing this. It just seems like it has a very strong sense of design. And like I like the stained glass kind of effect behind with the Rocky Mountains or whatever that's going on there.
Yeah. Beautiful work, Hannah.
Nice work. Interesting top light too. Okay.
Next up
The
we have
Hierophant.
Wow.
yes,
Ooh.
by student
What does
Isa.
this one mean? This is an interesting one. What does it mean?
What does it mean?
What does it mean? The Hierophant card has to do with spirituality in a structured kind of sense, like religion and education. And a lot of the early cards in the major arcana have to do with society structures, right? So the Hierophant is a representation of that. But
we used to have those.
We used to have those. You mean a society?
Institutions that are strong.
Institutions.
Yeah.
But I really love the colors in this. I think the colors are so beautiful. And I love that contrast between the kind of orangey pinks with the purple blues. I think there's maybe you could read some kind of some symbology interpretation into that. But just besides that, I think it's really beautiful.
Yeah,
I kind of like the peacefulness with the kind of like the water element in it as well. Kind of restful.
Yeah, the water. You can feel the water of the medium, and that sort of becomes kind of almost an element.
Yeah.
Beautiful
work, Isa.
Yeah, great job.
Next up, we have the Lover's card.
Wow.
This is by Tiana.
Beautiful.
Love it. I love the colors.
Yeah, it's such a nice style, this one as well.
Yeah. Like it's like an illustration.
You've got the full moon, and then you've got a crescent moon, and then you've got this like starburst in the middle. It makes it seem like an alignment of the celestial bodies or something, like star-crossed lovers. Both alike.
Sorry.
We did not get an explanation what the Lover's card is. I just remember now.
Well, in the lovers card is often seen as a card about choice. That you are making a conscious choice for connection and also for growth, that you sort of grow your own abilities and possibilities through your will, right? Not that stuff just happens to you, but that you make the choice, right? And I love this interpretation of the card because in the Rider-Waite deck there's usually two figures, like sort of an Adam and Eve figure and then an angel above them, but in here it's the woman and the angel.
Nice.
So maybe that's the choice. She's like, oh, this Adam guy, whatever.
Don't settle. Don't settle. Don't settle. Wait. You can do better. There could be an angel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be an angel.
Beautiful
Beautiful.
work, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
But what a
talking about
choice, right?
angels and two people, we have the other card, the other rendition of the card
Wow.
here.
Nice.
This is a nice
Wiggly,
one.
this turned out so good. I
Wow.
love it.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Who is this?
It's me.
What?
Hi.
That really came out great, Wiggly. Holy crap.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
people from group coaching probably do remember the first renditions. Yeah, this
Yeah.
Oh my
the
god, they were so
figures
different.
stayed. Yeah, the figures stayed the same, kind of. I
Yeah.
did
Mm.
hide his face, the
Uh-huh.
death's face. So we have life and death here, and I did the borders in the Muka design.
Yeah.
Well, try to, and I did put the angels up.
I love those
Sketch
little
as
those
it is.
design elements are fantastic. Like they're so
Yeah.
rich. We kind of like I feel like usually we'll fake this kind of thing, but we rarely will take the time to design all those elements. So you see a lot of like Muka knockoffs where it's just swirly nonsense and then they downplay it, but you like really developed it. I think it's really cool how you did it.
Yeah. So beautiful work,
Yeah.
Wiggly.
Wow,
Yeah,
Wiggly.
Wiggly, I really like the way that you kind of like got that real sense of distance in it as well, because you've got that, the frame and then the setback from it. It really
Oh yeah.
feels three-dimensional. It's really nice.
A nice
Yeah.
use of local colors. The notan of it's really nice. You've got like the light against dark, and you've got you're doing this like interplay between the two characters with the light and dark patches, and I think that's really interesting. And an interesting choice to make the faces dark because you almost do the opposite always in art. Usually bring the face forward.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Great job.
Beautiful, Wiggly. I
So
love it.
nice.
I'm very proud of the border, not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I
Yeah.
love it.
You
It's
should
just
be.
because I got the skulls in finally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it looks so good.
All right.
Wow.
Moving on.
Fantastic. It's a
We
shame to go through
have.
so fast.
Ah,
Wow.
yes.
You can see it on Discord in my digital
Wow.
sketchbook if anybody's interested.
We are. We are. This
And a
is
lot of our
fantastic.
students do have digital sketchbooks. It's worth looking over them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
actually.
fun to look at.
I need to follow more of those because that's like where a lot of the most interesting stuff on the Discord is going on is in people's sketchbooks because it's almost like their page and then they'll share things they're researching, their work, their journey.
Yeah.
It's really inspiring to go through those sketchbooks.
It's so
Yeah.
inspiring. I love looking at Marion's sketchbook. I mean, you always have so
I
much.
didn't know Marion had a sketchbook on there.
Oh, yeah, are you kidding me? It's
No, I didn't know.
I love it.
Oh,
Nice
thank
job,
you.
cowgirl. So this is beautiful too. It's such an interesting
Yeah.
variety of styles. This is a very simple, clean sort of graphic shapes, but also creating depth really effectively, almost like in multiplane, like a multiplane animation. But
Well, yeah, because the figure is a real person. She wrote in the little blurb there that the figure is based on an actual historical person,
whoa,
which I thought was I know, right?
Yeah.
wow,
I thought was so cool, and actually a really good choice for the chariot because this card is about sort of like victory and success, but also like is that the is material victory, is material success or societal success, is that ultimately what you want to achieve, or
yes.
are there other
Oh,
I mean, yeah, obviously doy
I'm just kidding.
important, but maybe not all that there is too.
Yeah.
And not to be grounded and stuck in those things. I bet a pirate, which I believe is what this pirate
Oh,
queen,
really?
which you would know a lot about that probably.
She looks so strong too. She looks like she can handle
Yeah.
those horses. Look at the shoulders.
Oh yeah, she's
Yeah.
at ease.
She's got like a
She's
strong
like,
core.
Mm.
And she's like confident, almost like a Greek or Roman statue, like a victory statue.
and very cool hair too. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm jealous of this magenta hair. It's cool.
We're really into
Yeah.
celestial stuff because if you guys remember on prom, a lot of celestial themes, or I guess
Yeah.
cosmological themes. So I really love to see it.
Yeah.
I love to see
Beautiful
it.
work, Celeste.
Like the eyes of the horse are almost like some kind of magical movement because on the dark horse, it's actually coming off of it. Almost like it's like a magical beast, and as it moves around, the eyes sort of have some kind of movement to them. I get the sense.
And they're kind of going in opposite directions a little bit, right?
Yeah.
A white horse and a black horse, and they're
Yeah.
sort of trying to diverge a little bit.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Beautiful.
meaning.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I love it. Fantastic work, Celeste.
Yeah, it's
Beautiful.
beautiful. Great work.
Such a great job.
I love this one. Oh my God. It's
Whoa.
so beautiful.
Hermit by Jiro.
So cool.
Jiro?
I believe it's
Yeah.
pronounced Jiro. Jiro.
Wow.
Wow, it's so detailed and delicate.
Yeah, almost like a Northern European 17th century
Yeah.
drawings and etchings. It has a, yeah, it's really
I
delicately
really,
done.
I really like the kind of like reticulation with the kind of ink at the top as well. These lovely
Yeah,
effects.
almost like a Rembrandt, a little Rembrandt sort of a treatment.
Yeah.
Is that all in one layer? That seems like a risky, because look at all that delicate line work, and then you've got all those washes there. So it
Mm.
looks
Yeah,
like
it looks
Judo.
like a watercolor, right?
Yeah, it does.
What
It
is
really does.
I
Oh, it
thought
says
it's an ink wash.
ink wash and Indian
Yeah.
ink.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's going hard, because you mess that up, you have to start all over again.
Brave.
But like the hermit,
Yeah.
Jiro goes ahead
Yeah.
consistently,
Yeah.
steadily in his own
Yeah.
direction,
Yeah.
according to his values.
Okay.
So good job.
Yeah.
Well done. Well,
Good job.
Very
Yeah.
hermit-like.
yeah, Hermits, he's not going to be hearing this. He or she is not going to be hearing this.
Yeah.
They're with Ross somewhere.
Okay. And this is
Oh,
another rendition of the Hermit
this is
by
interesting.
Zach.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
And Zach has been studying a lot of anatomy lately.
Yeah.
Well, it's real introspection, right? Like the hermit.
Yeah, the style is interesting, how all the elements sort of work together. They all weave together. So these background elements and everything, it's all sort of connected in the flows, which I find really interesting.
Mm.
Mm. Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful work, Zach.
Yeah,
It's,
really
it's
nice work.
amazing, isn't it, how different these cards can be from each
Oh,
other
yeah.
as well. It's incredible.
Yeah. And that's something we encourage at New Masters Academy. We don't teach one style, and we love that the students have all different sorts of goals and backgrounds and aesthetics. And as long as
Yeah.
it's well done and you have good foundations, really, the sky's the limit in terms of what you want to accomplish with your work. I think these cards show that.
Mm. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Having the knowledge sets you free, right?
Yeah, my mother was on the show once, Wheel of Fortune. I don't think it's the same thing.
I don't think it's the same Wheel of Fortune.
No? Okay.
But this
Was
one
she
is
really?
done by
Yeah.
Kitsune.
Yeah. This is amazing.
I love the
Oh,
border.
it's Kitsune.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
nice.
a beautiful
nice.
painting, Kitsune.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
I
love
remember,
love
yeah.
the magic,
I
like the
think
arcane symbols that are in like 3D is pretty cool
yeah.
too.
Yeah, I remember him working on this and putting so much, thought and effort and thinking about positions of the arms and the light shades. And it's come out so well. And I love the kind of framed element that he's got in here as well. Beautiful
Yeah.
piece.
And how the magic transcends the frame. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Mm.
Wouldn't this be cool as like a card, like a Magic the Gathering card with like a foil? Can you imagine like if it had a
Oh, yeah.
reflective properties? If
Like
this
a
was like
little
actual physical,
hologram
yeah, that would be
thing.
really
Little
cool.
graphic
Yeah.
card. Yeah. This
Yeah.
would be
So
beautiful.
cool.
And all
Yeah,
those,
beautiful
Absolutely.
work.
colors of
Kitsune.
the cosmos back there, all the
Yeah.
nebulae. Wonderful.
Next up, we have Justice
Wow.
by
This is so
Anne
different.
Marie.
So different.
Yeah.
I love this one. I think
Wow.
this is so beautiful. All of the thought that Anne Marie put
Mm.
into this with the different symbols kind of layering on top of each other. But also I think this idea with the Justice card again being like connected to all these
Mm.
nature elements with the antlers and the plants and the flowers and everything, that it's kind of like not just a system that we oppose, but something that is healing and nurturing as well, right? I like that.
Yeah, it's not imposing. It's not like somebody who's going to execute you or somebody, it has more of like a comfortable sort of a feeling, almost like it's
Yeah.
it's a good thing. Because sometimes justice is
Yeah.
kind of intimidating with the the blind justice and
Yeah.
with the scales. It seems like, oh, this person might execute you, but here I feel like it's
I
it's
kind of
sort
think
of
as well,
optimistic.
it's
Optimistic, yeah.
interesting
Yeah.
that it's her niece who's the model, and it's that idea that, like, will it be the next generation who kind of like hold us to account, who
It's
looks
too late. We ruined it for them. There's no way they're digging out of this hole, dude.
it's kind of like the kind of idea that they're the people who have this this desire to look after the planet, this kind of like keenness to see justice. And I think it's kind of nice in that way to see a young person represented in this card.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that is
It's
Yeah.
interesting.
beautiful.
Mm.
And
Ooh.
then we have the hangman.
Oh, this is an
This is
interesting
Wow.
one.
beautiful.
Well,
Wiggly.
you went in a totally different direction on this from when I saw it, Wiggly.
Oh yeah, this is different.
It's
This is
let
like
it be known. It's
ukiyo-e.
still yes, it is inspired by ukiyo-e. I did
Yeah.
a little master study with the clouds. It was from like a Mount Fuji print.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
Um,
that's
it's not
fantastic.
finished yet, so
And the
it's
lettering
still a
going
work
down
in progress.
vertically, like the like
Yeah.
Japanese text, is really
Mhm.
interesting.
Yeah.
I love
He
that,
always
The
Wiggly.
has such
That's
letters
a
are
really
hanging.
So,
smooth.
what is the story of the hangman exactly? Do you know the meaning of that?
Yeah, it's well, he's hanging, not hanging like, from the neck like you're dead, but he's hanging from his foot. So it's kind of like,
Wow.
okay, well, you can't move and you're also getting a different perspective. So
Hmm.
when you get the hanged man in a reading, often it means like maybe you need to stop what you're doing and see things from a different vantage point, get some perspective on where you're heading in your life. And usually that means you have to actually stop and be still, which is very difficult, I think, for most of us to do, to actually be
Hmm.
still and hold your spot for a second so that you can actually feel where you are and is that the right place to be. And
Wow.
maybe that means you have to get a little bit of an outside perspective, which, by the way, I think is a great thing
Mhm.
to use tarot for, to get an outside perspective.
Now, Wiggly, was there a reason that it looks like you intentionally hit the tangents right on the edge? Are you trying to? Is there a meaning behind that? Because it creates sort of a
I
ambiguity and a
tried.
tension.
Yes, I did try to pull the attention more towards the rope. So I did use the tangents around there with the branch, if that's
Interesting.
what you mean. I still have to add birds into it and
Oh.
backdrop.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not finished yet, but it's a work in progress. I'm
I
pretty
really like
happy
it.
with it.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
format, the actual like the graphic design of it, I think is really interesting. And I don't think I've seen this format with that style in this way. It's really, really interesting.
It's beautiful shapes. I just feel like the shapes are
Yeah,
so interesting and, and,
yeah,
and beautiful.
yeah. Well done.
Yeah,
Thank
nice work.
you. Okay. Next up, we have Death by
Death.
Patricia.
Wow.
This is lovely.
I wonder if that's her concept to do it like that. The resting figures against each other like that.
Mm.
Yeah, I think this was Patricia's own concept because the other death cards I've seen have a different kind of style to them. But I like
Mhm.
this idea that because
Yeah.
the whole point of the death card, like if you get the death card, it doesn't mean like, oh, you're gonna die. It's
Mhm.
more like, oh, here's a big change, right? There's a big transformation that's coming. That's not
Mhm.
necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes you need to change, right? And that both sides of these of the halves of the card are continuations of one another and completed halves of one another. You can't really have one without the other. Both things are necessary, and neither one is necessarily bad or fearful. I mean, that little skeleton there, he looks very peaceful, right? He's
Yeah,
kind of like, this
yeah,
is nice. Looks very comfortable.
yeah.
So yeah, death. That it's one of those cards that it can feel like a little bit intimidating, but it's certainly not one of those cards that it ultimately means transforming into a better thing, into a higher thing, which ultimately you have to do in order to change. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one I quite like the sort of circular feel as well, that idea of maybe, she'll kind of rotate round and have that change. And I like the way that the hair's coming round with the same shape as the circle. I think it's beautifully drawn, this one.
Yeah, it's very
very
simple in its
beautiful.
design. The circle
Yeah,
contained by a rectangle, but then
yeah.
it's very intricate, very selectively with those figures. And so it's a really nice use of the areas of rest, the simple geometry, and then sort of detailed ribs and hair and things. It's just really, really appealing. It's
Mm.
fascinating.
It's very
Yeah, it's
beautifully done.
beautiful. Good job, Patricia.
Great
Great
job,
work,
Patricia.
Patricia.
Next
Oh
up from
wow.
Death, we go to The Devil by Christine.
Gosh,
Nah,
goodness
And
that's
this
me.
cool.
Christine definitely put a lot of thought
Wow.
into this
Yeah.
card too, even listing out the seven deadly sins.
Oh, the seven deadly sins.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
all of them, right? Yeah, yeah. You're familiar with those,
Definitely.
right, Joshua? There's
I'm very, very, very familiar with those. Yes.
I love the monkeys. That's all I'm saying. I love the
This is
monkeys.
my to-do list.
Same.
I just love the
But
use of these animals are so well depicted, and there's so many
Mm.
interesting details and elements all put together. It doesn't look contemporary in that. Like the amount of effort does not look contemporary. It looks like there's really a lot of moving things around and a lot of time spent on this. I think it paid
Yeah.
off.
it's beautifully done. And something I think is so interesting about the devil card is that it's sort of it's like in opposition to the lovers, right? Where you have two figures, like the Adam and Eve figure, and then an angel above them. And in the devil, it's the same two figures, but with the devil above them. And
Mm.
the figures, the two monkeys being chained, it's like the opposite of choice, right? Except that you can see,
Uh-huh.
and even the way Christine drew the card, those monkeys could probably reach up and grab that treasure if they really wanted to. And if you don't do so, it's because you're choosing not to. It's the illusion of not having a choice. That's what the devil represents.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
Great work, Christine. I
Dude,
love
Yeah.
it.
It's
even the
Beautiful.
frame
really
is
nice.
actually a long horn if you look carefully.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like that. Yeah, that'd be cool as a sculpture.
Okay. Beautiful
Ooh,
work, Christine. Next up, we
Yeah,
have The
great job,
Yeah.
Tower
Christine.
by Misty.
I love the monochrome take. It's so graphic and
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
striking. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. It's got a real kind of like almost Scandinavian feel a little bit about it, and the
Oh
kind of
yeah.
sort of interesting line work. Really nice.
Oh, and you
Yeah.
have like the moon phases above
Yeah.
too. That's
Oh
so
wow.
beautiful. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Breakdown of old structure. The breakdown of old structure and beliefs. So this is sort of the opposite of that institutional one we were talking about.
Yeah.
The breakdown of structure, embracing transformation and change. Interesting.
Yes. This is
Yeah.
another card that when you get it, you're kind of like, oh no, I have
I'm
to
gonna
do
get
work.
fired.
I'm gonna get fired.
Yeah.
Wait, what are you saying, Joshua?
This is how we're doing it. But yeah, I feel
First
like
thing,
it's apropos for this time where there's so much change in, you know, there's so much change in the world and the institutions are changing and how people, live their lives and what they invest their time in. All this seems to be in flux right now. So it seems like a very appropriate card for sort of our time.
Mm,
Absolutely. Yes.
yeah.
And
yeah.
it's scary, but ultimately good things can come from it too.
Mm.
Well, let's find out with the next card if that's true or
I
not.
guess
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Wonderful
I
job,
just want to
Misty.
say, I love the little Gandalf down there.
Yeah.
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 I like the
Cool.
last name too, Misty Stash. I dig that.
Yeah.
Temperance by Liz. I
Oh, this is
remember that from
interesting,
group
isn't it?
coaching.
Yeah.
And I thought this was so impressive. Liz brought this to group coaching one week, and it wasn't quite finished yet. But I love that she took a card like this and made it like literally into an oil painting
Yeah.
that looks like, it just looks like a scene, like a still life. But she captured all of the elements of the card in the scene, which I thought was just so impressive and really creative. So great work, Liz.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautifully done.
It would be a
It's
lovely
really
kind of
interesting.
way to have a whole set like that, wouldn't it? All little kind of paintings,
All
the kind
oil.
of yeah, all oil. That would be a
Yeah.
good exhibition.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's really
yeah,
it's fascinating too. Like all the objects are sort of along the frame in a way, so that's
Yeah,
unusual. Usually, you put your subject more centrally located. This way, all the objects are spread out around, almost like you're sitting at your desk to work,
yeah,
or it's like for you. Nothing's in your way. It's all here. So, kind of the first person perspective is sort of the point of the card. It feels like
Yeah, that's true.
yeah,
That's a good point. Yeah, absolutely.
interesting.
That's so interesting. Yeah, I
What
love it.
what
Great
a
work.
view!
Yeah.
yeah.
Where is this real estate?
it has a beautiful view.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
all right.
I love the
Beautiful work,
yin
Liz.
yang in the clouds is cool too.
Oh,
And here's
Mm.
another rendition of the same card by Roni.
Wow.
That's so
gosh, that's
so
so
impressive. All
different.
of the thought that
It's
went
just
into
got
this.
like
Yeah.
creature design
Mm,
kind of vibes, like comics and film. You know what I mean? This sort of
yeah.
organic sort of Akira kind of monstrous forms are really interesting. Look at the way the water was handled. That's a really interesting. Is that how it is in the original card with the material going from one scale to the other?
Yeah, it's like sort of an angel-like figure pouring water between two cups. So it's like hot water and cold water balanced, right? The idea being like that extremes or black and white thinking, it's ultimately all an illusion, and that a balance or a more unified way of interpreting the world is closer to the ultimate truth. So temperance, yeah.
So it's normally an angel though, because we have sort of a Cronenberg version of that in this case, right?
It's kind of a Cronenberg. I kind of dig it though. I like this card.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, it is really
It has
cool.
a charm.
It's very gothic.
Yeah.
It reminds me of those Japanese yokai ukiyo-e styles. The famous
monsters.
one being the umbrella one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the evil spirits going into like objects. Like that's the first thing I thought about when I saw it.
Yeah.
But yeah, beautiful work, Ronnie.
Yeah.
It's all like alive and architectural at the same time.
It
I
works.
like all the kind of textures that they've managed to get into their work as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the layers of texture is so good.
Yeah.
And good control of it too. Like the different zones have different textures, and it's really like well executed.
Yeah. All right. Beautiful work, Ronnie. Next up, we have The Star by Louisa.
Wow.
That's so beautiful.
So different.
I love this card.
Yeah.
It's almost like a genre scene, but done in sort of
it kind of reminds me of a Nick Alm painting, if you know Nick Alm.
Yeah.
Go look up Nick Alm if you don't know his work.
Yeah, really, really rich blacks sort of in the scene, like Nick. I think that it's just it's got an interesting feeling to it. And the lighting and it's like a nocturne, right? The way that it's done.
Yeah.
A little more violet. But then you've got the light source of these stars. So interesting.
Yeah, and I love the facial expression on the figure pouring out as well, and then the figure pointing down. It just all seems, intensely well considered. It's an amazing piece.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see this at a gallery somewhere like Arcadia or something. Like you would see something. This feels like this would be at home hanging in the wall of somewhere like that, or Laura Granning Gallery or something, or Maxwell Alexander. Wow, fantastic work.
Yeah, it's stunning.
What is the meaning of the star? The sword feels we're facing difficult decision.
Yeah, well, it's sort of about getting in touch with the sort of unsensed intuitive kind of part of the mind, like confusion and spidey sense.
Yeah, got it.
Totally. Yeah. Not your conscious knowing, but sort of a deeper knowing that's more mysterious and kind of hard to articulate. Yeah. But those things are also important. You have to go through these kinds of moments of confusion and uncertainty in order to come out to the other side, which is sort of what this part of the major arcana is about. So the star, it's a beautiful card, one of my favorites.
Yeah, and like look at the composition on how she's pouring into these glasses, and they've been arranged, like everything is compositionally arranged to make it work, even though it must have been difficult to get everything into that frame. But look, the tiles on the ground, they sort of disappear as they move back into the background, and then that gets you into this loop of the cups, which are tilted just right so that it's working in the composition. But the narrative element is so strong. It's so obvious that the crowd is just doing what it's doing, and that this main character, she's having another experience entirely, and she's trying to feel something, figure something out, intuit something, and it's almost like the lighting tells the story as well as the composition. Really fantastic work.
Yeah.
Beautiful work.
Strong composition.
Next up, we have The Moon by Vodka.
Wow.
Yeah. This is amazing.
Talk about,
so beautiful.
So intricate.
Yeah.
So we've got a wolf as well as a domesticated dog, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And moon phases again, and then all of this incredible design in the background. There's also crawfish. I don't know if you can see that a little.
I thought it was a lobster.
Yeah. Oh, it might be a lobster.
Whatever it is good eating. Yeah, it's almost like a scratch board technique, right? Or the effect anyway. I love
Yeah, and
those.
I'm li-
I love those little. This almost reminds me of like Celtic designs, but there's also like
mm,
paisleys and stuff. It's all sort of. It's really rich.
yeah. There's just so many different patterns and textures everywhere you look. It's an amazing piece. Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
interesting use of like solid white and solid black as well as the really
Mm.
detailed areas.
Mhm.
Oh, fantastic work,
Really
5K.
beautiful work.
Yeah,
Really
Beautiful
great
photo. Yeah.
job. Wow.
yeah.
I love the pattern on her dress too.
Next up,
This
The
one.
Sun
Yeah,
by Amy. From the
yeah.
moon to the sun.
I love
And
this
we have
so
the
much.
sunflowers.
Yeah, she's definitely
Yeah,
radiating. That's for sure.
yeah.
I like the
And
almost psychedelic, the psychedelic vibes.
The sunflowers.
Oh yeah, it's a little bit groovy.
It's groovy,
yeah,
dude. Yeah,
Groovy, baby.
very Colorado. I like it.
But it's like, you go through all of that kind of dark, sort of confusing, strange stuff with the star and the moon and everything, and all of that kind of scary stuff with the tower and the devil, and then you finally come to the sun, and it's like, everything is bright and sunny again.
Yeah,
um, but
she,
I think you really feel that in this card, that
well, she
the
almost feels
kind of comes
enlightened or
together.
something, doesn't she?
yeah, yeah.
She does,
I
yeah.
love, I love as well that she's saying that it's a self-portrait, really, and it's a picture of herself in a happy moment, which I think is really
Uh,
fantastic to have this kind of card for yourself in the happy moment. And I love the contrast with the yellow and the purples. It's absolutely lovely.
yeah, definitely radiates.
Yeah,
And good color
Oh,
choice with the purple to really make that
yeah,
yellow feel like it's
yeah,
glowing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
oh.
yeah, everything else cools it off.
Next
Wow,
up, we have Judgment
it's epic.
by Jadim Des.
Yeah, wow.
And I love the dragon in this card. Looks like so friendly. He kind of
Yeah,
looks,
Yeah,
Sesame Streety. Yeah,
yeah, I'd
yeah.
like to be judged by this
yeah, yeah.
dragon.
I feel like this dragon's not gonna judge too harshly. I feel like this is a. It's
Yeah,
like
he's gonna judge on a curve,
he's gonna judge
right?
on. He is grading on a curve. This guy's grading on a curve.
Yeah, yeah,
But interesting, yeah. Just the dragon's really interesting. It's got so much soulfulness in the
yeah.
face. You're almost like keep getting drawn to look at the dragon. Really.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
Wow.
it's a call
definitely.
to an adventure. I think that's part of the idea of the judgment card, that it's resurrection, but then it's also like Judgment Day, but then also a call for, okay, what's the next thing? Let's go. And I
Mm.
think that's maybe what's happening here. That it's like, let's go on an
Yeah,
adventure.
you can almost hear the horns.
She woke up and chose to be a dragon rider.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
I
great
think
choice.
that's the only
I would
choice
pick this
there.
dragon
Yeah,
to ride for sure. I don't think this
yeah.
dragon's
I
gonna
think you'd
mind.
have to.
Yeah, this claws are for show.
He makes
It's
sure that you put
beautiful.
on your seatbelt.
Are you hydrated? Are you staying hydrated?
You guys
Are
have
you
a
warm
snack?
enough?
He does have a cup
I
compartment
made
for
Don't
water.
forget some healthy
sandwiches.
carbs.
Beautiful
Yeah,
work. That's
yeah, great job.
Yeah, we love it. It's beautiful.
next up. We have The World
That
from
sounds
I love
fun.
Unveiling.
this. I
That
love
sounds so
this so
fun.
Yeah,
much. Oh, I think this is such a beautiful card and such a great interpretation of the world, which is sort of the ultimate end to the journey of the major arcana, that you go through all of this stuff with, thinking about society and institutions, and then journeying through the self, and then having almost like a crisis moment, and then coming through to the sun, and then at the very end you get to the world, and it's like an understanding of all things joined together, accepting all things and being one with all things, and holding all possibilities very lightly. And it's like being back at the Fool again, right? This kind of innocent, you know, innocent view of the world, right? But I mean, look how beautiful this card is. I
yeah,
just love it.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's interesting that the artwork is rich and full of color, and that's like more real than the world of the creator. I wonder what is meant by that. You know what I mean? Like it's just a sketchy drawn world, but the
Yeah.
work itself, it's like an inversion of what we're usually trying to achieve in art. We're trying to make it feel more real and alive to the person. But in this case, the reality is really it's like the shadows on the cave wall, and then the work itself is like the true reality or something. It's interesting.
But the
Yeah.
artist and the dog look so happy. I think they look very
Yeah, they
content,
do.
right?
Yeah. Well, they created the world.
They're
Yeah.
like,
They
we
do.
did it. We made the world. We created the world. But don't we always
Yeah.
do that in our own interpretations and the
Yeah.
way that we kind of
Yeah.
perceive things and construct things in our mind? You literally make the world.
It's all a
Yeah.
So,
construction. We don't have
oh,
access to the reality. We can only construct it the way our minds do. And
like shadows on a cave wall.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great job.
Beautiful work, Andrew.
New
It's
label.
beautiful. Yeah, Andrew, I
Oh, it's
love this
Andrew.
one.
Andrew. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And from Major Arcana, we are now moving into Suit of Cups.
Ooh.
Cup suit. I
First
love
up,
cups. Oh my gosh.
first up, we have
Oh.
Ace of Cups by Liel.
Hmm.
Liel. I believe that's how it's pronounced.
I think
If I
Leo.
butcher it, I'm sorry.
And
Yeah,
I
Ace
think
of
this
Cups.
is a beautiful interpretation.
Yeah.
I just love it. And that cup glows from the inside. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, and
Just, I love it.
the cup's like a fountain, in like a pond or something. So it's actually filling the pond. It seems like.
Yes,
Yeah.
full of life and full of potential.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they've kind of really thought about their symbolism in this as well, really intensely with what they've chosen to put in here. A lot of
Yeah.
thought into this card.
Yeah, the shapes of the
Mm.
doves are interesting
Mm.
too. Like it's really shape dominant, really nice, fluid, simple
Yeah.
shapes being used.
Yeah.
And it
And one
sounds like
thing that
this.
was So I was just going to say one thing that was quite interesting is so many people said that they got cards that felt like the right card for them. And it
Hmm.
was kind of a card that, like they felt had meaning for them. And I feel
Yeah.
like this is one of those ones, particularly where the students really felt connected to the meaning of the card.
Yeah. I'm seeing a theme with colors too. Like there seems to be like a certain kind of thing that is. I don't know if they were seeing each other's work or if it's just where it's going. But you do see a lot of violets, a lot of turquoises, a
Yeah.
lot of cool against warm, a lot of saturation. It's
Mm.
really interesting. Yeah, great job.
Great
Yeah.
job.
Oh, it's
Moving on to
Two of
Two
Eden.
of
Cups.
Cups by Eden.
Wow.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Eden.
Yeah.
Look
You
at
can recognize Eden's style, can't you? You
oh,
can see the,
Oh,
immediately,
you can.
immediately.
Yeah.
yeah.
Look at that
Beautiful.
unicorn. I love the design of that
It's
unicorn.
just
Okay.
chilling.
It's like a goat unicorn.
Yeah, I think the older unicorn design, they weren't always a horse with a horn. I think
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the unicorns were often smaller in artistic depictions, but that's a really cool unicorn.
And I know
Beautiful
Edie
work.
went through a lot of iterations on this. She did
Yes.
tons of drawings to figure this one out. I think it just turned out so beautiful. Really,
Yeah.
really amazing work.
Yeah, there were
Yeah.
many renditions.
Mm.
Yeah, you almost feel
Yeah,
like there's an entire story that we're not seeing, or there's a
Yeah.
whole, a film or something or a comic.
Yeah, you do feel like the characters that have come to the end of the story arc, and this is the last scene as they
Yeah,
kind of,
exactly.
yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, the end titles are gonna show.
roll the
And
credits.
it was a perfect card for Eden too, because the Two of Cups it's kind of seen as like the soulmates card, and I think
Mm.
just for like the kind of work that she likes to make, it just seemed like the
Yeah.
perfect thing for her to just like
Romantic. Yeah.
romantic
Yeah.
and kind of a little bit of fantasy. I think it was perfect for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She also likes some dark sci-fi too, so she's got another side to her as well.
Don't we all?
She likes Philip K. Dick as well.
From
Wow,
Two
look
of
at
Cups to
this.
Three of Cups. Japan inspiration by Laurasia.
Yeah.
I
It's
love those.
beautiful.
Yes.
Oh, and I
Well,
just noticed that the kimonos are like primary colors, right? That
Oh
it's
yeah.
like that's so I love it. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
So pretty.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, very
such
nice.
such
Yeah.
a lovely sense of design in this one's face as well. Really, so thoughtful with the elements again here. The students have really produced amazing work, haven't they? I
Yeah, the
mean, this is
composition especially has just been so strong
incredible.
with these. Yeah, like
Yeah.
grouping the three figures together, it'd be really easy to get
Yeah.
overwhelmed by three figures, but just to simply group them into almost this basin kind of a shape and then
Yeah.
separate them. I think that sometimes is hard for students to do because they think they're supposed to be doing anatomy or they're supposed to be doing it 3D, and they sometimes lose
Yeah.
the sense of design. But I think this is kept it really beautifully simple.
And you kind of see that repetition of the three even in the mountains at the back as well,
Yeah.
where they put these kind of three time and time again. It's really, really
Yeah.
nicely done.
But the mountains are small, medium, and large, and then the vessels are similar size but different shape. And then
Yeah.
the figures are similar with slightly different orientations and colors. And so it's also like a compositional breakdown of the
Mm.
ways you can separate elements. So I really love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Four of Cups by Beatrice.
This
Ooh.
is
I
great.
love this
This is great.
interpretation of this
This is
card
great.
so much.
Okay.
This is so clever.
Beautiful.
I have no idea what it means, but I like the design.
Well, it's so perfect. This is just genius because I mean, the Four of Cups, it's sort of about like that there are things on offer, there are things that are being given to you all the time, but you never notice them, right? And it's like,
Ah.
I think I don't have a cat, but I would imagine that having a cat is always like that.
That's so sad. I like to
Like
imagine having a cat.
I got you a scratching post. Why do you keep attacking the
Oh yeah,
couch?
yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, I get you like great little kitty treats and like cat food and stuff. Why
Yeah.
do you keep killing these bugs and bringing them to me? Like, come on.
Yeah.
What's with the snake bringing?
Yeah. And you've got a crosshairs over the bird like a target, like it's
Oh
trying to
yeah.
lining it up.
And great use of
It's
color
beautiful.
on this too. I mean, just
Mm.
like a
Yeah,
little bit of color can be
yeah.
so powerful, right?
Yeah.
Almost
Yeah.
like a comic strips and newspapers where they have a limited palette and they can't go crazy with the color. So it's a really selective color, almost has like a, you know, Sunday paper kind of a feel to it that I
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. And I really like the kind of hand just coming out from the side and, you know there's a human, but they're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
intelligent.
Yeah, it's not working. Yeah.
All right, moving on to the other rendition of Four of Cups
Four of Cups.
Ooh,
Different.
really different.
by Dylan.
Dylan,
Nice.
yes, yes. Which Dylan really worked a lot on thinking about, using his figure drawing experience and drawing from imagination and, putting
Yeah.
all these different elements together to tell the story of the card. So really using the things, of course, that, we've all been learning with New Masters Academy in order
Yeah.
to create an illustration, which I
Yeah.
thought was really exciting to watch the process.
Yeah. And this one's quite a haunting one, really, isn't it? It's quite mysterious and a little bit foreboding as well.
Yeah, there seems like there's
Yes.
some torment or something going on, like there's
Yeah.
struggle of the soul.
For sure, yes. Really trying to
Yeah.
not see all of the
Yeah.
good things that are, trying to present themselves, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to work really hard to ignore those
Yeah.
things.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's fantastic work,
Beautiful work,
Dylan.
Dylan.
Yes, really nice work. Beautiful line quality, everything.
Five of
Ooh,
Yeah.
Cups by Tom F.
Yeah.
This is
this is a
moody.
beautiful card. Yeah,
Yeah. I
beautiful.
love the empty space at the top contrasting with the busyness of the bottom. It's really, really nicely composed.
There's so much story here. It's like,
Yeah.
how is this path? What is this character going to, come into contact with on this path? And just the fact that it's a nocturne, but it's not that cool in the actual values. And so that's sort of a difficult effect to achieve too, to make it feel like it is night, but we can still see what's going on. I think that's interesting. Cups are great.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
the colors are so believable, really. I mean,
Yeah.
you do get really the impression that it's nighttime, and
Yeah.
yet you can see so clearly. It's really effective. And
Yeah.
the cup suit is all about emotions, right? It's all about really being in your feelings.
Yeah.
And I think all of these cards, you really sense that the students like really understood that
Yeah.
these are cards about like emotion, not
Yeah.
logic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
totally get the feeling of this card with the moodiness and this feeling of like despair and
Mm.
sadness. That was so
Yeah.
effective.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
exactly.
the kind of like long journey that seems ahead that seems kind of scary as well. That I don't know, they're just at the beginning of something in
Yeah.
this as well.
Very cool.
Absolutely. Great work. Oh, it's
Son of
mine.
Whoa.
Nice, nice.
What? You hacked the system.
Wow.
Who
I
gave
I
Catherine a card?
oh yeah, they gave me a cart.
All
You know
right,
what? You
pack it
do
up,
things
everybody.
sometimes.
Holy crap.
This is
Beautiful.
I had
beautiful.
I
Oh,
had so much
wow.
fun
This is
doing this
gorgeous.
one. I had to do it
Yeah.
really fast, but I had so much fun. And I wish I
What?
could have
Mm.
done more, but it was a hoot.
Well, tell us about
Uh,
it.
Yeah.
oh gosh. Okay, so the Seven of Cups is all about imagination and the ability to imagine new possibilities, right? So each of the seven cups has different images on them,
Mm.
and it's sort of like, well, if you can imagine, bad things, if you can imagine bad possibilities, you can also imagine good things, right? So it's all about sort of discernment in how you envision your own possibilities, right? Um, and I wrote like a whole freaking essay
Wow.
about things. But I loved working on this. It was really really fun.
This
And I
is
did it all in watercolor. It was kind of challenging actually because it was sort of big, the art, but
Yeah.
it's fun.
I love that all your cups are so different to each other as well.
yeah, they're the different Greek vessel shapes,
Yeah.
right?
You're
Yes,
beautiful.
and they're all based on real designs.
Yeah,
So
like
I
Yeah.
went and I looked up artifacts. I looked up the designs that are painted on them, and they're all based on actual designs of I think it's called canthos, maybe
yeah.
these like Greek
Yeah.
wine cups. Yeah, and then the figure is based on a painting by Angelica Kaufman that
Okay.
depicts the Judgment of Paris, right?
Ah.
Um, so about making a selection again,
Yeah, the
right?
figure is so beautifully handled. Like at first I was
Yeah.
thinking maybe like a pre-Raphaelite kind of treatment, but it's just really delicately handled. And the way you modeled the flesh tones is also very different than like the style of your painting that you're normally
Yeah,
painting. So it's kind of a
Yeah.
shock to see something so different, but also so
Yeah.
perfectly executed by you. And the watercolors over the sort of traditional line work, that's fantastic. I haven't
Mm.
I mean, some of the students were doing similar stuff. I think it's a really nice sort of look to do these soft watercolors, but sort of on more of a more of a traditional scaffolding that you've created with the line work with the beautiful curves.
it was really fun, and it was totally different from anything I'd done before
This is
because,
so
of course,
cool.
it's a totally different challenge from what I normally do. So it was like, okay, it has to have a little bit of a graphic quality,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not really my typical thing. So
yeah. Wow.
yeah,
Maybe this is good encouragement for everybody to try
Yeah.
styles other than what you are doing because you might find that you bring something to it that just creates a new look. Like I can't place this in a style specifically, but it's really working for sure. I love the
Yeah.
delicate little modeling on the flesh. You know what I mean? Like around the
Mm.
knee and stuff. You really get a sense that it's kind of like Alphonse Mucha. You get a sense that it is 3D, even though he's made it very graphic. I think you've achieved that as well.
oh, thank you. I love Muka.
Wonderful work.
Thank you. It was fun.
Lovely.
So, appreciate
Wow.
the challenge. And yeah, absolutely getting out of your comfort zone. I mean, no one really
Mm.
enjoys that all the time, but when you do, often you do discover good
Yeah.
things, or at least you discover something different from your normal way of doing things. And ultimately, that also gives you a new perspective on what you typically do too. So,
Wow. So this is going to be for sale on Instagram. We're starting the bidding. We're starting the
Uh,
bidding high.
the real question should be full deck when?
Yeah, exactly. We got to. We
doing
got.
this took so much thought and planning. I was sort of like, I can't imagine doing 74, whatever it is. I was like, geez,
that would be
people that
that
do
would be
full deck,
amazing. I would definitely buy that
Yeah.
deck.
maybe
Uh,
someday. Yeah, ask me in
Wow.
10 years, and then it'll be almost
How about I ask you 10 times in 1 year?
not quite.
that goes. We're at the 1 hour mark. Does anybody need a break?
Should we take a quick break?
Yeah, it's
We can
fine.
take
Refill
a
coffee cups.
Do we have
Yeah.
like
refill
a
the coffee cups for 5 minutes.
sure, sure.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, we'll take 5.
Take
All right.
5. Bye.
Fantastic. So we have like a screen that we go to.
Yeah, just have to mute yourself so they won't be able to see you. I'm putting the Be Right Back screen up now. All right, guys, get some water. We'll be right back. 5 minutes. All right. Is Joshua back?
I don't think he's back. I think that's just his background. It's his Mojo Dojo Casa House, right?
I think it just looks like a bar. Is it a
It's
bar?
like a saloon,
Yeah.
like a Western
Yeah,
saloon.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Goes with the cowboy persona.
Yeah, Billy the Kid
Uh,
vibe.
I just have to answer one question in the audience. No, the tarot cards are not yet finished. I believe we are halfway through them. So we're not done yet. But after
Quite a few
those,
cards.
we are there's a lot of cards, and
There's a
some of
lot of
them have doubles. I think we'll start going a bit faster through them, else we'll be here all night.
yeah.
I'm gonna be switching to the card screen again, and we'll wait for a bit for Joshua. Okay.
I really like this card too. This
Eight
one
of
is so
Cups.
nice. Yeah, Eight of Cups.
All the work so far was so good.
I'm always so impressed when we do these things. Like people put so much thought into their work, and it's just so exciting to see. I just love it. We should do more of these. Come on,
Yeah.
Marion, come up with another idea for
Ooh.
us.
What's coming up next? We have Christmas. 12 days of Christmas, I
That's
believe.
true. Did you
We can do
change shirts,
Christmas cards.
Joshua?
I think the hat is gone. Joshua, you're muted.
Hey, I can't get the hat on and the headphones is the thing.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, really. Are we back?
I think we're back.
Yeah, we are back.
Okay.
5 minutes are past, so we're moving on to Eight of Cups by Zufli. I already mentioned we're gonna be starting to move a bit faster. We're almost halfway through, but yeah. So yeah, Eight of Cups, Zufli. I believe that's watercolor. It looks lovely.
Yes. And I love these colors. I just think this is so beautifully done with this, warm foreground and cool background. So you get this sense of atmospheric perspective. And you don't even see the cups, which I think is wild. And yet I think it still really, gives the feeling of the card, which is, just good design and good storytelling, basically. So
So
amazing work.
the cups are being depicted as the stars, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it is. Yeah.
Yeah, 8 stars, 8 cups.
Interesting.
Somebody launched them into space. Beautiful, beautiful work. I love the colors.
Yeah, really nice.
And here we have another
Whoa.
depiction of Eight of Cups by Sarah.
Incredible. I love it. It's so dramatic, but just so well thought out, so well designed. It's just incredible.
Yeah, real sense of space.
Yeah, and you get the feeling, you see the cups and then you see the person departing away from them towards other possibilities. It's just
Yeah.
yeah. And the way that
Celtic
the moon,
motifs.
yeah.
Yeah, I love the Celtic motifs.
And there's that kind of like the innocence of the kind of like picnic scene almost, but then is sort of sinister. A sinister end to a picnic.
Sinister picnic.
Picnic gone wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're mauled
Hopefully
by
not.
Yogi Bear.
No. I used to love that cartoon. Yeah, lovely work.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Not from Eight of Cups to Nine of Cups by Haley.
Wow.
The cups don't stop.
Cups don't stop. More cups.
Yeah.
I like this interpretation too. I think this is a very different interpretation from what I've seen, but it totally suits. And I think this abundant kind of decadent feeling, I dig it. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's sort of like Kathy Kollwitz doing Queen of the Nile or something.
Yeah,
Man.
it's sort of really confrontational as well, and assertive with the
Yeah.
pose. Really strong image.
Yeah,
For sure.
you're gonna obey whatever this person has to say.
Yeah.
Beautiful work.
Oh,
Oh, beautiful.
uh,
Wow.
this is
A
kush.
kush.
Yeah,
Surreal.
It is surreal.
I
Yeah.
love
And nice.
all these. We've had so many twisted kind of tree elements tonight
Yeah.
as well, and
Yeah.
it's interesting to see how students are interpreting these kind of natural objects in such ways.
Absolutely. Also, like the foliage, the leaves themselves seem to
Mm.
be actually more like a cloud. It's some kind of atmospheric effect, and then the roots are exposed rather than being in the ground, and so there's all these kind of surreal elements, and the roots sort of just wrap all together and intertwine.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Mm.
Beautiful work, kush. Page of Cups by Phoebe.
Nice.
Oh wow.
I love the page cards, and I think this is such a great interpretation of Page of Cups, just that kind of like innocence. You really feel it here. I mean, we keep saying it, but it's like, oh, pretty colors.
They are very nice.
Everybody's
Colors.
thoughtful with their colors.
And I love the hat.
Yeah, I love the balance of the composition as well, where you've got the flow of the leaves coming down and then the flow of the arm coming up. It's just a beautiful composition on the page.
It's almost like the
elements.
water's
Really
being
nice.
served almost to the character.
Yeah, lovely,
Lovely.
Lovely work, Phoebe.
beautiful.
Here,
Ah,
next up, Nathan. Nathan
Yeah.
also
Wow.
brought quite. He worked on
Yeah.
this card for quite some time. I
Yeah.
remember.
yeah.
This is a
It
great
turned out
interpretation.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the Knight of Cups is the knight that likes to woo maidens more than like,
Yeah.
going on crusade or whatever. And that's like definitely what we're getting here.
So we got Lancelot vibes.
Lancelot
it's-
vibes, yeah, totally.
We've kind of been waiting for this guy to come and bring the party to us, and he's here. He's got the party for us.
He's right on time. He's never late.
Yeah.
The Knight of Cups is never late for party.
I
Exactly.
thought those were
Perfect.
wizards. Yeah, beautiful work, Nathan.
Yeah, I like the pin on
Yeah.
the bag, the strap.
This is
Queen
great.
of
I love this.
By
Yeah.
BL45T.
Yeah, this one's pretty good, isn't it? I love the the really strong kind of curve down with the tail and the wonderful, again, we're seeing these yellows and these kind of turquoises. I mean, it's definitely thematically colored this evening. And the sort of, I don't know, wing harp-like elements on the cup.
Yeah, and
yeah.
you to treat the eel and the dolphin and these other creatures
Yeah.
as solid color
Yeah.
compared to the mermaid.
She has a
almost
nice
looks like
shell
a-
tone.
They look the
Is it like a
expression.
DNA helix on the cup? Is that what that is? Or am I insane?
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe that is.
Hmm.
Yeah,
It
it
does
could
look
be
like
that.
that, yeah.
Interesting. But I love a complementary color scheme. I mean, great color choice. And beautiful pose too to the mermaid. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Mm.
Beautiful work. Next up
Ah,
we
we've
have
got Dio.
King of Cups, and this is by Dio. You cannot miss Dio's style. It's always so
Yeah.
good. It has like the distinct Dio style.
And I
I
think
love
this is like pretty much the perfect card for Dio. Maybe the King of Wands would have been even more appropriate, but I feel this is pretty much the perfect card for Dio's style.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Dio says in the card, this is fine.
This is fine.
Yeah.
Circling back to the meme that probably everybody knows, this is fine with the house on fire, with the dog
He
sitting
is fine
on the table.
though.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You're chilling. Yeah, beautiful work, Dio.
Yeah, awesome.
And we go into suits of pentacles,
or
starting
coins.
with the ace.
Nice.
By Sophia.
Oh, that's
that.
nice. Yeah.
So good. Beautiful
So many,
shape.
there's so many students doing such strong kind of like graphic feeling cards where they just, you know, and I think, yeah, again, that shows how important the fundamental skills are if you want to go into graphic design or anything like that. The skills that you learn in composition can help you, you know, put anything together really well. This is absolutely stunning. The layout of this card.
Yeah, like a lot of playing with the frame, breaking the frame,
Mm,
you know, playing with different planes, you know what I mean? Like this is in front, this is behind, and really
yeah.
messing with those relationships a lot. It's really interesting. Also,
Yeah.
the glow from the pentacle onto the hands is nice. It's a nice touch.
Yeah.
I think
And I
it's
really
so
like
strong.
the stronger lines on the hand, and then the sort of softer lines in the background, really separating out that space.
Yeah.
It's really, really nicely controlled.
Yeah, and it's nice to see
Like-
the forearm and considered, because often if you're drawing a hand and then the arm is cut off, the forearm can be very, you know, not well considered, but it looks like there was an attempt to make the whole thing come together.
Incredible. Beautiful work,
Beautiful
Sophia.
work, Sophia.
Yeah. Oh,
Ace of
wow.
Pentacles, another rendition by Curtis.
Nice.
And we have kind of a secondary color scheme too, with like those purples and
Yeah.
oranges and greens, which I always feel like is really an interesting kind of color range to work with because it's like a little bit unexpected. And you know, again, really strong graphic design with the
Yeah.
shapes, and yet we have a three-dimensional feeling of all of those forms and the light as well. Beautifully done.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, real environment
Ooh.
there.
Two of Pentacles by Roz.
Wow, this is cool, isn't it? I like this.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Wow, and Ross, you did this in oil too. That's so cool. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Great work.
It's like this is like you know, some kind of torrent or something in the sea, and it's
Yeah.
this crazy angle. Lightning's coming down, and we've got like a whirlpool forming and a storm. This is pretty intense.
Yeah, it really does show that battle, doesn't it? It's quite an exciting card.
It
Really
is.
nicely
It's
controlled.
incredible.
Very
Ross
dramatic.
has been working so hard on oil painting, and he's just made so much progress and learned so much in a really short amount of time. It's
Yeah.
just been amazing to watch, really.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
know what this reminds me of? It could be a book cover for Percy Jackson, the light team.
Oh, totally.
Right?
Yeah.
Full work, Roz. Three of Pentacles by Brian.
Nice.
Nice
Yeah, beautiful.
interpretation of this card about collaboration, you know, working with different strengths within oneself, right?
Yeah.
Allowing all different parts of yourself to be in on the project, right? Which
Interesting.
sometimes you have to do in order to work on, you know, difficult things like this, putting together a tarot card, and you have to, you know, maybe battle yourself a little bit, discipline yourself in order to come up with the idea and to make the composition and then to see it through to the final. So yeah, an interesting card in the original deck too, and I think a really good interpretation of the card here. Absolutely.
Yeah, great lesson for artists.
Mm. Yeah, and it's nice that the students talking about how NMA makes this happen, which is true. It's
Yeah, love
Absolutely.
the insignia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there again.
It's like these Easter eggs.
Yeah.
I hope we didn't miss too many Easter eggs because I believe a lot of people are including them. Four of Pentacles by
Oh,
Jen.
Oh wow. Jen.
Oh,
this
Jen,
is
this looks so
lovely.
beautiful. Wow. Oh man.
Jen's been working, she's been really studying composition so hard this year, and you can see that, you know, she's really getting an absolutely beautiful flow in this image. It's wonderful.
That's beautiful. And again, a little bit of color can be so effective, right? More than just having color all over the place. Just, you know, sometimes just that little bit can be so intense and you know, create more meaning, which I think it certainly does here.
Yeah, she's definitely doing a lot of organizing of the frame and playing mass against space and silhouettes against texture, and she's really there's a lot going on here, but it also has a nice simplicity to it as well, even though it looks like a lot of work went into making the composition work.
Absolutely. Great design.
Job. Yeah, great job, Jen.
Yeah.
From 4 to 5 of Pentacles by Jen.
Five of Pentacles.
Jen. Right?
Jen.
Yeah. This is adorable.
Yeah.
It is adorable. And it's funny because the original card is kind of not so adorable, actually. But I like that, Jin always takes the kind of sunniest, most positive, most like, cutely designed kind of version of things. And it
Yeah.
just, which I think is also part of the message of the card too, that the thing that you really need, like the nurturing and the warmth that you're looking for, is ultimately right in front of you if you can access it. And he clearly does. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Interesting.
really great work.
Six of Pentacles by Alex.
This is quite different too, in
Yeah.
terms
It
of
is
how the
different.
space was organized more on a grid.
Very
Yeah, and
interesting.
the white elements just cutting right through that. It's almost like a paper cut on top of another print. It's absolutely exquisite the way that they've designed that.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people lean more into the 3D. This is something that's done quite flat. We've got squares, we got a grid, circles are in the squares, there's a pattern behind, and then we've got another plane where all the action of the hands is happening. But even look at the pentacles that are moving almost like coins, like you're doing a coin trick or something. But look at how the star is inscribed on those ellipses. So there's there's like a geometrical precision in this piece that's interesting. I wonder if that ties in thematically, or if that's just it's Alex K. Yeah, he's really into Escher and this kind of thing. So this makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it totally does make sense. Yeah, absolutely. That's cool.
Great job, Alex.
Beautiful work. Seven of Pentacles by
Wow.
Catalin.
I think
Watercolor on
Caitlin.
paper.
Caitlin, probably, yeah.
Caitlin?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Caitlin was with a C. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for butchering your name. Please don't hunt me. Caitlin.
This is so impressive doing this in watercolor. There's so many things to think about in an illustration like this, with the figure and the drapery and then the painting within the painting and then the expression. Like there's just so much stuff going on. And it really captures the meaning of the card too, which I just think, again, it's just so impressive to see all of that come together. I mean, just great work, Caitlin. I love it.
Yeah, I love
really well done.
Yeah, and taking the idea of, the artist as creator and making something that's nourishing and sustaining, rather than the farmer, I think is a really nice adoption of the theme as well.
Mm-hmm. And we do have that window back there, so we do have the natural context as well, just sort of in the background.
Yeah.
It's great.
Really interesting take on it.
Eight of Pentacles by Jennifer.
Wow.
Mixed media paper with
This is
wild.
Absolutely fascinating looking, isn't it? The quirkiness and strange shapes here, the twists and turns.
Kind of groovy.
Yeah, the neck is twisting. Gardener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. It's interesting.
Yeah. And I love the little watering cans in that as well at the bottom.
And the mushrooms.
Mushroom house.
Yeah. There's no architecture in it though, besides maybe the orientation of the phases of the moon at the bottom. It's all organics growing. However, normally in tarot you see a really strict organization. So this is an interesting departure.
It's very what do they call the style from Dali? I forgot now.
Surrealism. Yeah.
Surrealistic. Yes, that's what I meant. Thank you. The word escaped me. But yeah, beautiful work, Jennifer.
Yeah, nice job.
Nine of Pentacles by Ross.
Look at the sun.
Oh wow, Ross.
The sun really screams Ross art.
Yeah, the sun, you can see Ross on that.
And has it got like little prints around the edge as well, or are those ink wash drawings? They look really interesting. Those little shapes he's got in his frame too.
You got like a spiral.
His work is always absolutely engaging and interesting to look at.
Yeah,
Goodness.
the hourglass, it's sort of it's just handled more like a zone where just like there's no gravity on the top one, or maybe, or I guess they're just buried in the sand, like sort of like we're seeing a cross section almost, and then do you see what I mean on that top half?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's sort of encased there. It's interesting. It's just an interesting spatial idea, things being
Yeah,
inside.
and I love the expression on the moon's face. It's just, exhaustion.
Tired.
I kind of like the sun.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
sun.
the sun is hot. It just had
Sun is
coffee
cracking me
ready
up.
for the day.
It's also interesting to put shade on the sun since most light comes from the sun.
Oh, whatever. I
Beautiful
like
work,
it.
Ross.
I love the narrow teeth and the wide smile.
Yeah.
Ten of Pentacles by Carla.
Really
Oh,
nice.
wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So nice.
Beautiful colors, beautiful sense of and light, and I really like this. Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice story. It reads very clearly what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love the
It's
Dragon Boat
beautiful.
tree. I know it's not
Yeah.
a Dragon Boat tree, but
But it's a nice way to tuck the 10 pentacles into
yeah.
the scene.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is interesting.
Wow. This
Knight
is
of
really cool.
Pentacles by Halogen. Halogen?
Halogen. Yeah.
Halogen.
I like
this
this
has a
too.
tarot style. I can see the tarot style
Yeah.
here.
The Knight of Pentacles is all about doing action. Right.
Wow. He's like shimmying up this cliff.
I don't know what the action is, but he's doing it.
He's climbing. He's parkouring his way up.
He's working those leg muscles for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's leg day.
really nicely done.
Yeah.
Don't skip leg day, people.
That's not an easy pose to draw,
No.
especially if you probably don't
Yeah.
have reference.
Yeah. Or hold,
Yeah, or hold. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice work.
Oh,
I
March,
love this.
Queen of Pentacles.
Oh, all right, pack it up.
So
Again.
beautiful.
Wow. I think this one
Yeah.
you're gonna have to zoom on this one. Is it possible for us to do that?
No, unfortunately not.
Look at all the intricate line work in the. Oh, this is just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Everybody
I
needs
believe
to
it's
go
in her
look closer at the rabbit up at the top because it's just so incredible. That rabbit, beautiful.
There's also a chicken.
The chicken's fantastic. The tree is unbelievable. Just the way the fruit are, everything is just handled so expertly. It's just really amazing to see it all together. So much design and so much care.
Absolutely.
And all the
So
kind
beautiful.
of the flow of the image as well is absolutely exquisite. I've seen this in quite a few different versions, and this is by far the most exciting one that I've seen. It's absolutely stunning.
Yeah, I'm almost getting like Hindu
Amazing.
vibes too from the depiction of the ox.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever. It's almost like it's a holy.
Yeah.
It's got like a holy energy to it, and then it's just nature, just sort of depicted harmoniously and beautifully and idyllically. It's quite interesting. But just
absolutely.
if you
Like
zoom
the
in,
abundance at peace with.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, you go ahead.
I'm just looking at the rabbit. I just can't. If you look carefully, it's like like it's really, really developed well. You can tell. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on what you were saying.
No, the rabbit is amazing. I took screenshots of that when I saw this on Discord because I was like, I need to just have that. I know. I was like, I want that. Yeah, I really actually want a rabbit tattoo.
Yeah.
I was like, this one right here. Yes, okay, like 2x the size, maybe a whole bunch of them just like going down.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
So beautiful. Yeah.
Interesting color choices too.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we cannot zoom in to show the line work, but Marcia does have a digital sketchbook over at our digital campus on the Discord. So check her out and scroll a bit up and you'll find it.
Amazing work, Marcia.
Yeah, beautiful. Incredible.
Yeah.
And we're going into the swords.
Yeah, swords.
You have my sword and my axe.
Sword suits are intense.
Oh,
very intense.
This is lovely.
By Anna. Yeah.
Yeah, I love those experimentations. Those have worked out so well. It looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the sword's such a recognizable set of shapes that you can really play with it as this artist has done, and it still communicates, because the shapes are so recognizable. So eating into it and having wet elements above and beyond, and also even notice with the sun or whatever's at the top there, you've almost got like a diffraction or some kind of effect where it's being drawn into the blade a little bit, almost like you'd see one light shape, join another in your visual field. It's really interesting.
The choice of materials is great too. I just think this is, it's so effective. It still has a graphic read, even with all of this kind of wet into wet technique. And it just, I think, really has that feeling of that, perfect sword sort of emerging out of the sky. So beautiful.
Yeah,
great work, Anna.
That could be a book cover for a novel,
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
So good.
Two of Swords by Amanda.
Wow.
Wow.
Incredible. I love it.
This has such a poetic feel about it, doesn't it? It's just exquisite.
I wouldn't disturb this person. They're obviously doing something important and don't want to be disturbed.
Oh, beautiful work. I really like the pink, how it comes out.
Yeah, nice framing too.
I love the separation.
Yeah,
it's so nice, the foreground and background elements against each other. It's beautifully done.
And the rose petals or whatever is on the ground there, that's really nice, and it maps the space really nicely. Just really a strong concept.
Three of Swords by Jesse.
Whoa.
Yeah. Wow.
This is a great interpretation. I think this is I mean, clearly you must have done a lot of research into the card, the meaning of the card too, to come up with this, I think, because it's just so on the just pinpointed right on the meaning of the card, and yet it's
nailed it.
Yeah, you nailed it, but and it sounds like it was another case where it was kind of like the perfect card for the moment, but just such a great interpretation of the card. I love it. It's so clear and so communicative and so effective. It's great.
Yeah. Great work, Jesse.
Yeah, and I love the intensity of the kind of pencil work in the background. It's just really pulls you into the card.
Yeah, it's a good use of scrubbing. If you're going to scrub, it should be for a reason, and this is a good example where you're just bringing it in. Also, the anxiety, you feel the tension in the line work.
Next up, Four of Swords by Erica.
Wow.
Interesting.
I like this one, just chilling in the grass with some floating swords above you.
Yeah, it's interesting to use the 3D space and then just a sort of a planar kind of perpendicular to the picture plane, but to mix those together is interesting, because usually it's you're going all 3D or you're going all flat and graphic, but seeing those come together in different configurations in these cards, I think, is really exciting to play with.
I like that element, that sort of extreme foreshortening, but then the really flat graphic swords. Really cool. A really great take on this card.
Yeah, interesting. Great job, Erica.
Five of Swords by Bia. Bia?
Interesting.
This is such a good card, isn't it? It's got such a quirky feel about it. It's like a stage set. It's really interesting.
Well, it kind of it makes me think that there's a whole story going on behind here, because it's one figure standing in front of a portrait, it looks like, behind them, and then everyone's eyes are very
there's
interesting.
A power struggle or something going on with the family, and the conflict is causing them not to be able to see each other and connect with each other, so the eyes are covered.
Whoa, yeah, absolutely. It's amazing. Yeah, winning at all costs. Yeah. Gosh, you guys are so good.
Yeah, it should be about us. It should be about us, I feel like.
Oh no, all these wonderful new Masters Academy students who are making these cards are so good. I wasn't talking about you,
Yeah.
Joshua.
Okay. That's just how I heard it.
Going on with the Six of Swords by
Wow.
Gigi.
It's got like Lawrence of Arabia vibes.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite cards in the deck. This card is just, oh God, I think just has so much depth and meaning and power behind it. And this, I think, absolutely, maintains that feeling for sure. I mean, this kind of like uncertain kind of journey into this, dark, desolate space and what's on the other side, and we don't know, but you go anyway. And I think it's really, really well done.
The swords in
Great
the
work,
ground
Gigi.
almost look like it was a battle and people fell in the battle or something. You know what I mean? Like almost like it's a monument, like a military monument or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
Another work from Jen. Now Seven of Swords.
I love this one. Jen, this is so good. And this card's kind of about like trickster energy, or that kind of being a little sly and sneaky. And I mean, definitely you get the feeling in the pose of the figure, in the
she's up to
she's
something.
kind of like tiptoeing. She's totally up to something.
She's up to something.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Jen definitely knows how to embody that trickster energy. As we all should.
Yeah, I love the costume as well, and the design of the character from the the kind of little Red Riding Hood type look.
I think we have our own Red Riding Hood right here.
I gotcha. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just sneak around and get 7 swords. I'm gonna be slaying that wolf.
Yeah, that's how the story goes for sure. But the placement of the swords is interesting too. It's so careful and it immediately seems meaningful. You know what I mean? Like you can immediately see that there's a symbolism in how the swords are grouped, and then you immediately want to sort of decode it and understand what's going on because it looks so intentional and careful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I like the addition of the shadow too. It seems very
yeah. A lot of nice shadow work today.
Yeah. Nice shadow work, guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, this is so good.
Also Gigi again.
Yeah.
Gigi.
This is really haunting, isn't it? Really reaching out towards us. 10 of Swords.
Wow.
Wow.
And look at the swords themselves. Look at all the shapes and the variety that she's got in there.
Yeah.
It's such an intense card, and I think you just nailed it with the feeling here, that really dramatic, dark intensity of the 10 of Swords, which I think is, again, it's just one of those cards you see it and it's like, no, dang it.
Well, what does it mean? What does this signify, the 10 of Swords?
It's just like an absolute ending, just an absolute done. It's over. A failure, an end of a journey. You have to kind of stop and move on.
So
and
she's grasping at whatever it was she was trying to hold on to, but it's in vain. The light's dying.
Yeah, I think that's kind of an extra little twist that Gigi put on the card, because in the Rider-Waite deck, it's just a figure with their face down on the ground and 10 swords in their back.
Okay.
Wow. Very, very dark.
Damn. With friends like you people.
I know, right?
That too,
but
dude.
I love Gigi's take. It's incredible. Really neat.
This is a cool one from Carthage, isn't it? And he's probably done a print for this because he's really into his printmaking.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, cool.
It does feel like print.
Yeah. I think he does some kind of litho type prints or something like that to get these. I think the process he's talked about where it's kind of like a digital litho, but it looks really, really, really interesting. I love the layering in it.
And
I love that.
Yeah, the graphic design's so interesting too. Like taking the sword, but also looks like a crucifix, and then how it's being positioned in space. It's just it's a very graphic, abstract interpretation of it, but it still reads in a way that we can understand. It's fascinating.
Carthage is going to the workshop actually.
Oh yeah, fantastic! So we can work on we'll work on our anatomy to make our cool prints even cooler. Oh, fantastic. Love the shapes.
Fantastic.
Knight
Oh,
of Swords by Tutal.
oh, I love this. I love the kind of the Green Warrior. This is an amazing card.
This is great. Absolutely. I love the feeling of
Yeah.
movement and action. This kind of like the figure's really almost like leaping out of the card towards
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, like through the brush, through the
Yeah.
brambles.
And again, the media has been handled so well in all of these different cards. I really love the way the backgrounds get these kind of movement through it. I think there's
Yeah.
been quite a lot of interesting use of, like media, and I think this is it's probably digital, but the way that digital has been used today has been really impressive as well.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of layering of planes, like the lightning in the background, then you've got like these different graphic elements, and then sometimes it has more of a 3D sense. So I've seen a lot of that as well. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it gives me a very much Lord of the Rings vibe with Elvin charging
Oh
into the
yeah,
battle in the third movie.
Yeah.
absolutely. Yes, and she beheads the knight
The Witch
wraith
King of
thing, right? The
Agmar, I
Witch
believe.
King.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that could be Marion on the horse for all we know.
Oh, it could totally be Marion. Yeah, with a cowboy hat. Exactly.
Yeah, well, yeah, or maybe like a sort of, I don't know, forest outfit. Go for forest outfit next time.
Yeah, that'd be a good look.
Yeah.
Next
All
Halloween.
right.
Kind of Robin Hood.
Next up, we
Ah.
have Queen of Swords by Andrew.
That's
Mm.
another one from Andrew.
It's a heavy hitter.
I love that.
Yeah.
Everyone did such a great job with just like, selecting colors and really making such a good statement with their color selections. I just find it so impressive. And this definitely, I think, captures Queen of Swords energy, which is very astute, very, very balanced and powerful. It's just, amazing. Great
Yeah,
work.
the vertical orientation of the sword, like it can be balanced on its end. It's stable. The thick character, the heavy armor. It's just you definitely get a feeling of stability and power. This seems like this is a hard to knock over, low center of gravity.
She's a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that crown too, it looks like it's defensive almost as well. Like you don't want to attack that crown. You're gonna get spikes in your arm or whatever.
That is a powerful queen.
Yeah.
Love it.
Gosh,
another
so
prince. King of
These are
Swords.
so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I seriously want a whole deck like
Yeah.
this. I love
All right.
these.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to do a deck for the next one.
Okay,
Yeah.
everyone, next Halloween, we're going to go through 74 cards for each student.
We're going to
There
manufacture.
we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
That's
have
so
a year,
cool.
everybody.
It's such a cool combination of different styles too, because that graphic style, you know what I mean, this printmaking style, that's more contemporary, but also the elements are really well drawn as well. It's usually more either or, it's like we're moving elements around, but maybe they're more abstract. But this is like it's both. They have a nice shape and nice design, and the drawing's good, and the graphic element on top of it. It's just unusual. I really like it.
Yeah, I think the colors together work so well too, and also the kind of tonality that you get, especially in the background and the clouds, looks absolutely. It's really beautifully done.
It's just two colors, right? It's just the black and the teal.
Cyan. Yeah.
The cyan.
And with printmaking like that, you probably have a limitation in how many colors you can use. So then you have to be even more particular and thoughtful about what you end up going with to get the right effect.
Yeah.
Blue is definitely the right choice for King of Swords.
And it could also be, it could all just be the tradition of that and like limiting the colors intentionally, even though he could do more. I think either way, I think it's working.
Yeah.
Great choice.
I believe that's the last suit we have.
Ooh.
Okay, let's do it.
We're almost done with the cards,
Woo.
and then we have the costumes. It's one by.
I'm going to this concert. Actually, I'm going to this concert.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is a bit rock and roll, isn't it? It's like
You already have the T-shirt, right, Joshua?
Yeah.
It would make a dope T-shirt design.
That is really cool.
Yeah,
it's cool. Yeah,
the paintbrush in the mouth of the skull coming at you, and it's wet. It's got paint on it. Like you. Oh wait, you're like the spot that's about to get painted over. You're like the canvas looking out.
Oh yeah, totally.
Do
Yeah,
you
you're
see?
about to get just
You're about to
brushed
get. You're about
over.
to get brushed
Yeah,
over. I'm
exactly.
feeling really
I
brushed
love
over.
But I mean, I think a lot of people took that kind of take of like a paintbrush or a pencil or something being like a magic wand, which
Yeah.
I think is so good because I mean, the a definition of magic that I've heard is that the subtle rules the dense, meaning like, subtle things like your intention, your intuition, your
Yeah.
imagination, your creativity, your discipline, that all of those things, rule dense things like behavior, right? Things that you can be seen doing.
Mm,
And that's like what artists do, right? Yeah, you
yeah.
use your creativity to create things in the real world.
Yeah.
So every time you make art, every time you draw and paint, you're doing magic, right? And every
Yeah.
time you discipline yourself into doing your drawing foundations one homework, that's also magic.
Wow. Wow.
So, there you go. I love it.
Yeah. Fantastic work again.
Yeah, great work.
Two of
Two
Wands
of
by
Wands.
Laurasia.
Oh, another
Yeah.
card by another card
Yeah,
here.
we already had a card. Yeah.
And I love that this is in traditional media, and I especially love the way that that distant mountain is painted. It's just so effective that you can really feel the distance there and the snow on the mountain and everything. I mean, I think that's just especially nicely done in this card.
Yeah, and I love the simple shape and colors of the outfit as well. It feels kind of quaint and old fashioned and kind of whimsical. It's really striking.
Yeah, I wonder
Yes,
what's going to
indeed.
happen. Like, is she going to put the world between these two wands so something happens? It's like seems like there's something's about to happen in the scene.
Potential, right?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
new things.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is nice. Oh, this is
Three of Wands by Julie.
So nice.
yeah.
A totally
I
different
always
style
love
once again.
yeah. Julie's work is always so meticulous and careful and precise,
Yeah.
and this is just absolutely stunning. I love the outlining of the hand with the
Yeah.
green. That's just and the shapes of the flower and the leaves. They're just so like Art Deco. They're just absolutely beautiful.
And
Beautiful
the
shapes.
the ribbon too. It's just really beautifully designed. Everything very
Yeah.
consistent aesthetic.
Mm,
Yes. And the leaves, it's not a generic leaf. It's a very
yeah.
specific leaf for this kind of flower. So real, attention to, really sensitivity to an actual subject, not just like, oh, here's a leaf shape. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
flower is
And
almost like these little dishes. The way that they have a very like you can feel the concave shape, not with shading, but just by where she's placing the center, and that's interesting.
yeah.
Beautiful work, Julie.
Yeah. And the kind of softness of those colors and the background contrasted against the strong green is it's beautiful. I always like Julie's work though.
Yeah.
She
Wonderful.
always does such beautiful stuff. Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Four of Wands by Iris.
Oh, I love this too.
One. I love this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
It's very
This is
charming
adorable.
style.
Yeah.
Who does this remind me of? There's an artist that this really reminds me of. This kind of like sort of slightly whimsical style, but very, very graphic and very, delicately designed. Gosh, I'll think of it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's got a lot of personality. Got a lot of personality. Some kind of
Yeah.
almost like a festival, like a village festival, a celebration or something, where there's decorations, and then this couple's doing some kind of dance together.
Yeah, and that's what Four of Wands is totally about like community and about, that exactly that kind of feeling of communion and being with your people. Just like we are now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just stop it.
Stop. Five of Wands by Typhoon.
Nice.
We got some tension in this one.
This is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
You're back to conflict.
All right, yeah. Everyone place bets. Everyone place your bets. I think Team Yellow is going to win this one.
Yeah.
Team Yellow, he does have that little
he's got
advantage there. Perfect hold. He's definitely going for the first win.
Yeah, I've never seen this. I've never seen quite this scenario before, so it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, and I think it's got such a kind of dynamic tension to it. This card is
Yeah.
really dramatically poised in this
Yeah,
moment.
it's just
Even being off center, right, makes it even more
Mm.
kind of
yeah. I feel like the stakes are very high. I just don't know what they are.
I always like seeing Tiffin's work. He's very active also in the
Yeah.
fantasy club.
Yeah.
Always has such great ideas.
Yeah, interesting.
Six of Wands.
I love this
Classical.
one.
It's so beautiful.
It's
This is
adorable,
so
isn't it?
sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very beautiful style.
Yeah, it's so
Such a beautiful
expressive.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Expressive, beautiful curves,
Mm.
beautiful colors again.
Yeah.
And it's a
Yeah.
card about like success and recognition, but I kind of feel like they're all
Yeah.
recognizing each other because they're all really good
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does look that way, doesn't it? They look like they're having a great time.
It's like when you're a kid and you have all your stuffed animals and you like arrange them around you to make an important speech. That's it. It has those kind of vibes. All the little pudgy.
Okay, guys,
acorns.
we're robbing that village over there.
Yeah,
Let's go.
yeah. Are you with me?
She does look like a little like happy Viking.
Little raider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need a spin-off show for this character, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
A little
I love it.
Rides the deer. Yeah, has her minions.
Yeah, it's kind of like a fully realized world, doesn't it? You could
Yeah.
definitely take this somewhere.
Pillages
Beautiful.
and sacks.
So sweet.
Yeah.
I love it.
Another Seven of Wands by
Seven
Marquise.
of Wands.
Oh, we got a rhinoceros beetle.
Yeah, and
We've
it's
got
a
some-
card about sort of standing your ground and kind of fending off,
Mm.
I don't know, intruders, invaders, whatever.
Yeah.
And you definitely see that here. But of course, you end up kind of having to battle with yourself, not necessarily outside forces, but with your own internal kind of struggles. So you could almost imagine, I think, that this beetle is just fighting a bunch of different versions of himself, right? It's all the same beetle.
Yeah. Whoa, dude. Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Man.
that's deep.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's
Far out, man.
interesting action scene. That was
Oh
really
my
great
goodness.
job, Marquise.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wands by
this is a great
Satoshi.
interpretation of Ten
This
of Wands.
is-
This is so
this
good.
is-
Yeah, where did this come from?
Wow. This
Look at the
is so
figure.
insane. Beautiful work.
Really
And
nice
the
Yeah.
skeleton. Yeah. Wow.
I remember Satoshi also streamed while working on this card in the study hall.
Yeah. Did you watch this being made, Wiggly?
Yeah, I was there when it was being
You were
sketched
there.
out. I was there when it happened.
I know Satoshi, and you are no Satoshi.
But yeah, Satoshi has been doing a lot of figure work. So
Yeah.
But the sticks are a really great way, because if you notice the way he's doing it is he's mapping the space perfectly. So he's almost showing off how 3D his understanding is, because none of these sticks are like running into each other. It's almost like they're all on the scaffolding of the figure, and that's 3D. So it's sort of a tour de force of three-dimensional thinking. Same thing with the skeleton there, and then you've got the serene, almost graphic background as well. So I think this, and the entire scene in the foreground is in shade. Like we're in the, because you can see the light on the other side, but this side's in shade, so it's just really fast. I think this is really strong as a work of art. Just context assignment project aside, I would love to see more finished work like this from Satoshi. I mean, obviously, Satoshi's a professional comic book artist and illustrator, but I like this sort of just like Satoshi's world, where it's all carefully considered and a lot of time invested. I would love to see more like this. All right, Satoshi deck. Let's make a list of who's got to do a deck after this.
Yeah. This has been a really great kind of like contest, though, hasn't it? The tarot cards have given people so much to pull out and make these absolutely incredible designs. I mean, it'd be tough to come up with, another good I think that was my idea.
Yeah, who came up with this idea?
She's really teeing yourself up there.
Yeah.
But
But it was a good idea.
yeah,
I mean,
I think so too.
there's so
Yeah, I
much you
threw
can
out
work
a lot of
with.
bad ones. Yeah. I had about 75 bad ideas and one good one, and that kind of like
Well,
we do.
it would be interesting to, like, I don't know how this would work, but if we do it as like an annual thing, because I think people loved it too. I followed the thread a lot, but
Yeah.
it would be interesting to find some way to repeat it, and then maybe like we can select cards and then do like a printed deck, like a limited edition printed thing at some point or
Yeah.
something. I don't
It could
really
be-
know what's involved with
Yeah.
that, but this is,
Yeah, it
I
could
think
be
it's
a
just a
5-year project.
wow.
I think we should totally do that because I mean, even if you did it, if you did like 3 or 4 cards and got a different one each time, each one would be
Yeah.
a totally different challenge. And you could
Yeah.
approach each
Yeah.
one with a totally different style or take. And then as
Mm.
students, keep learning, keep growing their skills, they're going to have a new way to interpret the prompt and to imagine their vision for each one. I mean, you could totally run this again and again, I think.
Yeah, it's a good exercise
Yeah.
to have something specific, like a specific target, because I think in modern times it's hard because there's so many decisions to make and we feel just overwhelmed with all the styles and all the influences and all the possible interpretations. So when there's a really specific goal where it's like you have to have 5 wands and it has to have this figure and here's what it means, I think it allows us through limitation to apply our creative skills in a way that where it's like, oh, do 50% of your time on personal work. I think that's hard for a lot of people, but like this specific, I like how specific the tarot card design and the prompts are. And it's just wonderful to see all the different artistic styles and sensibilities and personalities and backgrounds and ages and demographics from all over the world just coming together to create something I think is really special. And I'm loving the idea of like prints. I don't really know what to do with it, but I think it's really fascinating. And this is a great one too. Right here, we've got
Page of
I
Wands
love
by
this one.
Anne-Marie.
Yeah.
I love the words Wolf of Socks.
Yeah.
Is this 11?
Yeah,
I
it's
think so.
11.
It does give the 11 vibes, yes.
Which I mean, again, it's just like people just got it so good. Like to go from Page of Wands, 11 is total Page of Wands energy. Like absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's such a good link to make. And then just the visual aesthetic interpretation of it, it's just beautiful. It's incredible.
Yeah,
I love
really
it,
nicely done.
Yeah. I just read that, it was inspired from Stranger Things. So.
Yeah, well, could you imagine a whole
11.
Stranger Things deck?
Oh,
That would be a
that would be
commercial enterprise.
all the demigorgons.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
another,
wow,
love
we've got
that
another
one.
gem.
another cute one.
Oh my gosh, that's so
This
adorable.
hamster has so many renditions
Oh my goodness.
across Jen's different projects. I just love how it just comes up in
Yeah.
another one here.
This noble steed.
Yeah, but it's like a sort of, it's almost like a lion hamster, isn't it? It's like a sort of mighty,
Yeah.
mighty loyal hamster.
Well, the first graphic where she developed the hamster was for Matt's fantasy life class, I believe,
Okay.
where the hamster was running away with the wand from the girl, and now she finally tamed the hamster.
This is the hamster
Yeah.
cycle.
It came full cycle.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful work.
I just love the touch of the hamster holding on the kind of carnations. It almost looks romantic, kind of like, yes.
Yeah, it's almost iconic, as if, of course we know what this is. This is one of our most treasured stories.
It's not?
Yeah, I buy it.
I buy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm bored.
Beautiful work, Jen.
Yeah, so nice.
Queen of
Oh,
This is
Wands.
another
beautiful.
Jiro.
Same style as the last one.
Yeah.
This one,
It's
Northern
incredible.
European Dutch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
interesting.
actually,
Incredible.
you know, with both of these together, you know, you kind of think, well, that would again be a beautiful continuation to continue on. These students need to just get their act together and do the whole set, you know, that
Yeah,
just get on, do
Yeah,
the decks. But again, wonderful.
yeah, I love how everything
Lovely.
moves and everything's broken into these short curves. It's just a really consistent kind of a interesting treatment. And then the figures are so interesting too, like the characters in these that Jiro did. Like I really like the line. I like this figure. And then also how like the foreground becomes the background, how the subject becomes the background. Everything sort of merges together almost like a Thomas Hart Benton sort of a way where everything is sort of alive and connected. It makes it seem like it's a world full of meaning, which I guess is what tarot is about.
That's
Yep.
incredible. I love it.
Yeah.
Really great work, Drew.
Another
Oh,
King of
cats.
Wands by
King of
Cat.
Wands. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. The
Yeah,
lack of a background is interesting. Like that seems like that's the point in a way.
And it's kind of like such a bold composition as well, leaning over to the side, hand on the hip. It's very strong.
Yeah,
And,
very Greek.
Yeah, classical composition. Really
It
nice.
seems very inspired by maybe a figure like of Zeus or
Yeah.
something. I mean, that even
Yeah.
the wand looks almost like a lightning bolt or
Yeah.
something that he's holding, right?
then-
Like a Zeus figure.
But then we've got like a
Yeah.
fur on the shoulder, like Heracles. But I don't think that's a lion. Maybe it's a hamster.
Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
beautiful work. Like Phoebe says in the chat, very kingly.
Yeah. for
Very
real.
Yeah.
kingly.
Yeah,
He
and I
seems
think
very
Cat-
at ease.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we
here
did
we go.
it!
Oh, we did it!
Yeah.
We're done with the tarot cards. Okay.
Ah.
Woo!
Great job, everybody.
You
Guys,
know, that was
was
quite
amazing.
yeah, and quick. I mean, that was only
Wow.
2 hours 5 minutes. I think that's
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
Lord.
I believe we have 7 designs. Do you guys just want to push through those designs, or do you want to take a break?
We
No,
can do a
let's push
5.
through.
You want? Okay,
Oh,
that's fine.
no, oh, that's okay. We can take a break.
No, it's
If
up
you
to
need a break.
I don't need a break. Okay, I'm here to
We're
saloon.
good. We're good. We're good.
I
All
have
right.
a hard
Take
out
this.
at 4, so
All right. Let's
Should do.
let's
do
then push through the Halloween costume challenge design challenge. All right. Let's go with the first one.
beautiful.
Joshua, did you have a question?
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, okay. So first one is I'm not gonna try and pronounce the name because I'm gonna butcher it. Can somebody else pronounce it? I'm sorry.
I'm not sure.
Is it
Mer-
Guilherme? Don't know.
Guilherme? I'm
Guilherme?
sorry.
Guilherme?
Is it Portuguese?
Guilherme.
Is that Portuguese? I don't know.
Don't know.
No.
Like,
Hey,
I-
the design screams Death Eater / Harry Potter
Yeah.
Slytherin to me.
Yeah, it's I love the kind of like ephemeral nature of it. So it's kind of like an
Yeah.
outfit that's there but not there.
yeah, sort of like
Yeah.
Hunger Games. I think they did things like that too. Like
Yeah.
a smoky environment, but also it seems to be like growing into foliage or something below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's transforming from a smoke and like a cloak into like forest ground or something.
Like the train of the dress is like the leaf litter, all the fallen
Yeah.
leaves.
Really
They
interesting.
kind of like burn up into smoke, which is the costume.
Maybe it's about a
Yeah.
cycle of rebirth or something. Like fire cleanses the forest and then new life is able to grow or something.
Mm.
Well,
Like
Love
they
it.
do
Yeah.
say they try to make something wispy, light, and dark to be reminiscence of nighttime shadows and spirits. But I also really wanted to focus on the idea of the transition of the warm and vibrant summer to the cold half of the year. I think it
Interesting.
comes across
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah, I
nice
think
with
so.
autumn, definitely.
Hey, great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely work. Next up, we have Jerimdes or Des.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
I like that
that's
this
such a good-
costume feels very wearable. Like you could
Yes.
definitely,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you could go trick or treating in this.
Yeah.
yeah.
says inspired by intricate masked mysterious woodland creatures, forest rangers, hunters, wizards from Adventure Time, shiny and sparkling costumes, grim reapers, fairy tales, and the bees from over the garden wall.
Wow.
A lot of
A
inspiration.
lot of inspiration. Love
And
it.
that's definitely a mask that is, that I'd like a mask like that. And a cape.
It's an everyday mask.
Yeah.
Okay,
It is,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think it
Yeah.
Whenever I go to the store.
yeah.
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 Go to the
Really?
coffee shop.
we really need to get some, like NMA cloaks or, capes. I think
Yeah.
that's
That-
merch
Wiggly
that we're
already
missing.
has an anime cloak, right?
Yeah.
She's all set.
Yeah.
One step ahead.
yeah. Fantastic work. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really
beautiful
strong.
work.
Mm. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Baz.
I
Jackalope.
love this. Yeah.
I don't. Do
D
you
and
know
D
what jackalope
inspired.
is? I think this is an American Western thing. Do you know what this is?
I personally
I
do
don't
not know.
I don't know.
It's
I don't even really know the origin of it. Like, where
it's
does it
I
come
think it's
from?
like it's like a mythical creature, but you only see it. I don't really know where it comes from exactly, but it's like a jackrabbit with antlers, and they would like Photoshop early pre-Photoshop stuff. You see them on like postcards and stuff. It's like sort of like a funny myth, but I don't really know the origin. But it's American Western though. Jackalope. So this is a jackalope cleric. So this is a rabbit with antlers who's also a cleric.
The high priest of the jackalopes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, of the Jackalope Society.
Feels very pagan, very like,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
that's dope.
Love
And
it.
I love the colors and the cut and shape of the outfit as well.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
got
it's groovy.
an
It's also-
old worldly feel.
yeah, and it's also like reminds me of The Shining a little bit for some reason.
Oh yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
Really?
like you would have that sort of taxidermy in like a creepy old
Yeah.
building,
Yeah,
right?
like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
When the masks are literally taxidermied, so it's extra creepy.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
That could be next year, Shining themed party.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we're halfway there. Wow,
Next up, we have Hugo and a
Oh,
scary
wow.
clown costume. I love the
very
candles.
creepy, very creepy, very old and
Well,
That
the
is.
creepy.
candles do make that dramatic light from below, you know?
Wow. Oh, the candles are hanging off of the necklace.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, it's a
that's
fire hazard.
cool.
I was just
Yeah.
about to say what happens when you straighten up. You know, the candles will be
Who
pretty
knows?
close
Yeah.
to the
Who
fabric.
knows?
Yeah, and the head is carved from a turnip, which I have actually done. I have actually carved a turnip as a lantern. It's the Scottish way.
Oh, so it's
Yeah,
oh, I
so-
see. I see.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to carve.
Is it harder
Well-
than a pumpkin to carve a turnip?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
yeah,
a turnip
yeah?
head.
closer. Yeah.
You kids with your pumpkins. We used to carve a turnip and we were happy to eat it. We used to we got a turnip for
Turnips are
Halloween and we
good.
would eat it for Christmas.
Yeah.
Funny
Eat
enough,
it for Christmas.
funny enough, Hugo does mention he was researching into the beginning of the Halloween, and the head of the clown is actually a turnip,
Interesting.
Yeah.
inspired by Irish folk tale of Stingy Jack, who after tricking
Yeah.
the devil roams the earth for eternity with a carved out turnip as a lantern.
Interesting.
Mm,
Wow. On point.
Pretty cool. Celtic.
yeah. Yeah.
Really nicely drawn.
I really love the shaping as well of the kind of like the trousers at the bottom, because that almost looks
Yeah.
pumpkiny.
Yeah.
Um,
Like a scarecrow or
it's-
something.
Yeah. Yeah.
The eyes everywhere. Very creepy.
I think it's well,
We
it's
can
just
see
designs as
the-
well. I
Yeah.
love the
Oh, cool.
I like the one above as well. That's really, these iterations are really good. I'd love to see them all realized actually. They're
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, really nice character design.
You can really see the pose like coming through.
Yeah.
The final
great.
piece.
Great
The
pose.
development of the
Yeah.
pose is what I wanted to say. Next up we
Wow.
have Dio. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Hold the
Yeah.
hand.
You have to hand it to
Wow.
Dio.
Dio says, not sure if I'm wearing the costume or if the costume is wearing me.
Wow.
Yeah.
This
That's
is
There's definitely
amazing.
something going on.
Fascinating. Fascinating.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
can't
lot of
draw.
hand
I can't
space.
draw hands. I can't draw hands.
Did Dio say that? I can't draw.
No, but that's what the students often say. They can't draw hands. And Dio's like, it's
Oh.
just hands. It's only hands.
Yeah.
That's
Here,
the entire costume.
hold my water cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of complexity because you have hands holding onto hands
Oh,
and
yeah.
holding
Yeah.
onto fingers and stuff like that. It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
So
look
cool.
carefully, you realize the hands are pretty well drawn. At first, you're just like, oh, it's
Yeah.
hands. And then you're like, whoa, they're actually really
Yeah.
Even
touching
like
each
grabbing
other.
the face. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
it's wild.
This amazing piece.
Beautiful work, Dio. Very creepy.
Yeah.
Very
Very
Halloween.
creepy.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
hands, but yet so creepy.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
Whoa.
Animalic.
This is kind of, yeah, feels kind of superhero, doesn't it? It's amazing.
Yeah, a robot Is it a
Has like
robot and a witch
is that
costume?
Yeah, the
Or
Is it-
witch
brooms
and a
are the
robot?
feet. It's like
the brooms and a massive hat? That's amazing
what?
looking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And kind of like flippers, arms,
yeah. So
propellers.
like a manga villain or something.
Yeah, I love this. I love the background as well.
I love the colors.
Yeah, witch and robot. I
Mm.
don't think I've seen that combination before.
Yeah, this is really good.
And
So
I
it's,
love that this
A
came from their
cyber witch.
sketchbook, right? That this was just something they came up with in their sketchbook, and then further developed that idea into the full costume,
Mm.
right? So
yeah,
guys, sketchbooks, get on it.
yeah,
Yeah.
really.
If you don't have one, get one. Or make a digital one in our
Yeah.
campus.
The
Or
sleeves
in
are really
Discord.
cool.
Mm.
But yeah,
Wow.
beautiful. Beautiful work.
Yeah, great job.
Ooh.
Another one.
Wiggly!
Oh, that's cool.
Hey.
I like
Another
this one.
witch inspired
Yeah.
by
This already
magical
changed
anime
so
girls.
much.
Wow.
I tried my hand, it's not finished. So like all my work apparently.
Do
I
pumpkins
just
instead of turnips fancy.
little
That's fancy.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
jack-o'-lanterns. But yeah,
I love it. It turned out
I
really
had
good.
very fun.
Yeah,
I had
the
I
the,
so
love
the
much
bu-
fun.
the jumper or whatever underneath is really cool because where it gets pinned down by the stockings, you get this pumpkin shape down there, which is really nice.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that before. But also like it's like the almost like a the stripes running down, but then turning into the puffy pumpkin like thighs that then get interrupted. I think that's a really nice touch.
And I
Yeah.
want those shoes with the little bows. Super
Yeah.
cute.
And the cats are great too. Look how well done the cats are.
Yeah, I love the cats, Wiggly. They're really super.
I added
Playing
to
around.
them after our group coaching session. Not
Yeah.
group coaching session, our one-on-one session.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the
Yeah,
cats.
Marion was like, you know what, this needs cats, and I was like, hell yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
the
added
cats
cats yesterday.
batting at the costume.
Yeah,
I love that.
Marion, do you
Yeah.
say that in all your
that.
critiques? You're just like,
Yeah,
this needs
yeah.
cats, this
This
needs
needs
cats.
cats.
I feel like this thing needs some cats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great job.
And yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
it plays with the costume because what do cats do?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
play around with anything that hangs above them.
Mhm. And
Yeah.
I love the hat as well. Wiggly, the hat's an absolutely gorgeous shape. Really
Yeah.
beautiful.
The hat is my favorite part of
Yeah.
the whole thing. I mean, I'm very happy with the design, but yeah, the hat inspired by Harry Potter's hat. I didn't want to make a face into the hat. You know, the sorting hat,
Yeah.
because it has the face that talks, and I was like,
We
I don't
know.
want to like, I don't. Yeah, well, maybe somebody does know, but you never know. But I was like, I don't want to make it like a face, like it would be too much of a ripoff. And I was like, well, a pumpkin has a heart face, so let's put a pumpkin on there. Why not?
Yeah. Well, it makes sense too, like
Yeah.
tableaus and like cornucopias. These are all symbols associated with autumn and the harvest. And so having lots of things is very appropriate, I think, for something like this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Fantastic
and
work.
that
And is
brings
that
us.
Does that bring us? We've done it all now.
No.
We are at the end. This is it.
That's amazing. Amazing.
Well,
Wow.
thank you
Well
everybody
done.
for joining us. Thanks for everybody who submitted their work. This has been really inspiring. Some of these designs I'm gonna go back and look at more carefully because I know we had to go so quickly through everything. Is there a page or where's the best place if people want to look into these designs again?
I believe they
Where's the
will
best
be
place to do that?
uploaded. We will definitely make an announcement. I believe it's
Mhm.
going to be uploaded on the webpage, just like the
The blog.
The blog
probably
place,
the blog. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely check these
They
artists
will-
out. Like if you like somebody's work, follow them on
Mhm.
social media. You could scroll through the video or you could scrub. There's links there, and it's really great to, if you like an artist, support them, especially if it's early on, because that's the most exciting way to follow an artist when they're getting their start, when they're moving from being a student to a professional or anywhere in between. that's really exciting because you can really root for them and watch them change and evolve. And, we all follow, really successful professional artists that get, tons of followers, but I think it's good to make an effort to follow up and coming emerging talent as well. So that's one way you can show your support too, follow, comment, it's hard to post something online when you don't have the followers yet and nobody says anything. So it's really good to encourage young talent and encourage artists who are just getting started, changing careers or whatever. And that'll give them the inspiration, hopefully, to keep going if people are appreciating their work. So if you like somebody's work, don't just comment in the live chat. Just let them know. I think it means a lot, especially when you're a student or when you're in that time of your career.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always get
Absolutely.
such a good, when you see someone from NMA like your work, you're like, yay, they've liked my work.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
It is. It is really fantastic work. Some of these designs they were all amazing. Like people really brought it together, but some of them were just like, wow.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a lot of talent in this community. It's pretty exciting. We got to figure out more ways to maybe Marion come up with another 70 ideas and we'll get a good one. Another good one.
Out of this, yeah.
Yeah, that did bring us to an end. I did promise at the beginning that we will be having a little trick or treat at the end,
Uh-oh.
and I'm not lying. It was a treat, and I'm supposed to tell everybody that we have now a new Autumn Still Life album coming out. It's already available on the V3 site. Everybody can check it out. I believe the link was already dropped. If it wasn't, it's gonna be in a second.
Nice.
But yeah, 2 new albums for the Autumn Still Lives.
Nice.
So
Was
take a look at
Catherine
them.
involved in these ones or no?
No.
Catherine,
I'm so surprised.
I
That's
think it was
exciting, though.
Daniel. Daniel took them, wasn't it? I think it
Yes.
was Daniel.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great excuse to do your foundational practice, but also be on theme.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks, everybody in the
Yeah.
YouTube chat. I'll go through and read this after, but thank you for everyone
Yeah.
who's been watching and encouraging and everyone who participated. And fantastic work, everybody. Hopefully we can do this again. I think this was a big success.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you, Joshua,
you.
Catherine, Marian, for your time. It was lovely chatting. It was lovely looking at all those designs. Join us at discord.gg/NMA for the digital campus. Check out the digital sketchbooks from the artists that were previewed today, that we saw their works. And subscribe if you haven't yet to our YouTube channel. Yeah. Thank you,
Thanks,
everybody.
everybody.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everybody. Happy Halloween.
Thank you.
Happy
Yeah.
Halloween.
Halloween.
Bye.
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 All right.